was actually encase your ears. Enjoy.
Welcome to Embers of Liberty.
Our country is strong. A great people has been moved to defend a great nation. Terrorist attacks can shake the foundations of our biggest buildings, but they cannot touch the foundation of America.
In the Council of Government, we must guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex.
Inherently and historically opposed to secret society.
We, as Americans, have the capacity now, as we've had in the past,
long ago,
to do whatever needs to be done
and unwarranted
to preserve this last and greatest bastion of freedom.
far outweighs the dangers
In this present crisis,
justify it.
government is not the solution to our problem. Government is the problem.
Welcome back to Whoa, that was weird. Welcome. Do you hear that?
What's going on here?
Welcome back to Embers of Liberty, where we've been out for a minute.
Something's not right.
Something feels off.
This feels really weird.
And it's not politics. That's always been off.
Yeah, that's...
I feel like a midget. Just like barely.
You kind of look like a midget.
I feel really out of place.
Have we been out that long that we've forgotten where we sit?
Holy shit. That's not my laptop.
This ain't my chair. This chair sucks.
Son of a...
I want my good chair
You know
back.
what? Swap it around. Let's go. Get out of my spot. The hell is... What the hell? Lonnie, give us a stupid.
Stupid.
Oh, thank you, Lonnie.
Hey, I got my spot right at least.
Yeah, your spot never changes. This is super weird. I don't like this. Oh, it feels like home over here. Is this better? Feel better?
Very much. Yours.
Oh yeah, that is mine.
This is also yours.
That is mine.
Oh, excuse me.
Okay. Welcome back to Embers of Liberty, where this week we're back. We're back.
After many weeks off.
Many weeks. It feels like it's been way too long. Got my fuck around and find out hat on.
Oh, that's cool.
My fuck around and find out hat with interchangeable patches. Something's weird with the camera still. It needs to go towards Joe a smidge. Feel like I'm way out on the... Nope, towards me. Sorry. My bad.
There we go.
Yeah, it's way better.
And right there.
We're still off center, and I don't like that.
Move your laptop. Like push it forward.
I think that works right there.
There you go.
That looks more centered.
This doesn't... Okay.
I think it's because we're technically not in center.
There we go. Yeah, we're...
Gotta fix the vacuum, man.
It's all off. Man, it's been a long time. It feels good to be back, though.
It does. It does.
We've got a absolute metric fuck ton of stuff to talk about tonight.
The country is burning and we were on vacation. But hey,
And-
what can I say?
You know, so we're just gonna go super quick through this. Joe, how's your last couple weeks / month been?
Good, bad, ugly.
Okay, Lonnie.
It's good. I've been doing the same old. Really, just working. And...
All right, Lonnie, we didn't ask for a book.
Hey,
Just kidding.
Hey,
shut
look,
your mouth.
You had your opportunity, Joe.
I'm just kidding. I'm messing.
You didn't.
I'm
take
messing,
it.
man. I'm messing.
Yeah, it was just normal. I mean, just work and family stuff. That's it. What about you,
All right.
Justin?
Well, I went to see my kiddo and been working. About it.
Wow.
So
yeah, that's what we've been up
that's-
to. Not much of nothing.
yeah, that's the week in a nutshell. So
It was just a whole lot of being unavailable, basically.
Yeah. We've all been out of pocket for a hot minute. Well, me and Joe have at least. So, but with that, weeks are covered. It's time to talk freedom things. Oh man, I've missed that. I've missed this, boys. I've missed it. So first and foremost, we have probably the biggest piece of news right off the top. Trump got indicted.
Huge.
Probably the biggest story.
First and foremost, we have.
Oh shit! I'm sorry.
Hey, that's really loud.
I'm sorry.
There for a second, I thought that was Barack Obama.
No. Thank God. No, I'm not Barry. So anyway, Trump has been indicted on 34 felony counts, which shouldn't be felonies, and also the statute of limitations have been exceeded on like all of these. And it all stems from the Stormy Daniels hush money thing.
Or so they want you to believe.
That's what they want you to believe. I don't believe that's actually where it comes from, because Stormy Daniels signed a statement in 2018 that said the affair never happened.
Yeah. Not only that, but she even after the indictment came out and said, "Look, even though if I think what he did to me was wrong, it doesn't deserve this. Like, if this is what this is stemming from, this is absurd."
Yeah,
which
I agree.
Speaks volumes.
So what they've tried to do is they've tried to link it to New York State campaign finance violations, but they tried this in federal court and it didn't work.
They said, "Nah."
There wasn't a case. I mean, at the end of the day, I think this is going to get dropped. But let's go ahead and take this from, the mainstream media.
Former President Donald Trump pleaded not guilty to 34 felony counts of falsifying business records on April 4th, marking the first criminal charges for any former U.S. president. The charges stem from hush money payments made to adult film actress Stormy Daniels before the 2016 election, and Trump's culpability will likely hinge on the purpose of that payment. Falsifying business records in New York is a misdemeanor, but it can become a felony when there is an intent to defraud that includes an intent to commit, aid, or conceal another crime.
Good luck
Manhattan
proving
District
intent.
Attorney Alvin Bragg has alleged that Trump falsified business records to hide the payment and to cover up an illegal catch-and-kill scheme.
Why does he look like Hannity right there?
The participant scheme was illegal. The scheme violated New York election law, which makes it a crime to conspire to promote a candidacy by unlawful means. The $130,000 wire payment exceeded the federal campaign contribution cap. And the false statements in AMI's books violated New York law.
Bragg's indictment lists 34 separate instances of alleged misconduct by Trump. Each felony count carries a maximum sentence of 4 years. But even if convicted, legal experts have suggested it is unlikely that Trump would face jail time as a first-time offender with no criminal record and a 2024 presidential candidate. In a similar hush money case in 2012, former presidential candidate John Edwards was acquitted on one count, and the jury failed to reach a verdict on 5 other charges. Trump has denied the alleged affair with Daniels and dismissed the charges after his arraignment hearing in New York.
As it turns out, virtually everybody that has looked at this case, including rhinos and even hardcore Democrats, say there is no crime and that it should never have been brought.
So, Joe, thoughts? What do you think's going to happen?
I think it's been the biggest waste of time and American taxpayer dollars.
Well, it's not American taxpayer dollars. It's New York taxpayer dollars.
Either way, it's a big waste of money in general.
Well, here's the big thing behind it, right? The main thing to keep in focus here is if he gets convicted of a felony, he can't run for president.
Right. Which, I mean, that's why they got elevated to felony status.
Right. That's the only reason this is occurring. Even CNN, when this all broke, all the people who were watching this on CNN, they were like, this is pretty weak. Like, they heard the DA of New York come out and talk about what they had him on and all this stuff, and they're like, you had him on what? I'm sorry? Come again?
Yeah.
What evidence do you have? Like, because this is pretty weak.
Right. And it goes back to they're so obsessed with making sure that Donald Trump cannot be president that they're just doing anything they can.
Yeah.
You know, and honestly, if if the establishment dislikes somebody so much, all it does is make normal Americans think he's doing something that they don't like, and it probably involves them. We don't have to watch that one. It kind of touched on his speech in the first video.
We should be absolutely scared at this point right now, because this shows that our country is degrading to the point of where we are starting to actually try to physically take out political opponents. Like, we are not much above Russia right now. Like aside from killing them, we're not doing much better. You see what I'm saying?
I wouldn't say so much that we're not doing much better than Russia. I think that the Democrats aren't doing much better than Russia.
Well, yeah, but
you know, and you can say what you want. You know, Trump did do the whole "lock her up" chant thing. Like, that's bad enough, right?
Right.
Yelling "lock her up" is not the same as actually prosecuting somebody.
Indicting someone. Well, and another thing, too, to take away from this is even if they know they don't have anything, I will say that this is one thing you do have to look at is when they started scheduling the arraignment.
Yeah.
It's in January of next year.
Right.
Which is the height of campaigning.
It puts it in the election cycle.
So, regardless of the fact, whether they think they have anything or not, they're killing time and trying to hinder.
They're partaking in election interference.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, that's what this is. It's election interference.
And it's shameful, and it's embarrassing.
And it's at this point, you got to call a duck a duck.
Yeah,
right?
And like the person in this video said, they almost certainly know that they don't actually have anything, but if they can keep them from campaigning and getting out there and campaigning, that's better than nothing, right?
Right. Whatever good my opinion is, I think that's exactly right.
Which, and the whole opposing Trump looking, the way I look at it as far as opposing Trump, though, like, if he did sleep with a porn star, like, one thing I find funny is, like, conservatives are like, God is watching, is over you, and he's got his hand on you, Mr. Trump, and it's like, bro, like.
Well, I mean, but so even from that sense, who did Jesus hang out with? He hung out with sinners.
Yeah, but he didn't sleep with them.
Well, no.
You know what I mean?
Well,
but
not that we all know of.
Trump's not Jesus.
He don't claim to be either.
But I'm saying he did cheat on his wife. I mean, supposedly.
Allegedly.
With a porn star. A porn star.
I mean.
To be fair, that's living every man's dream.
I was about to say, to be fair, how many guys wouldn't in that?
But Stormy Daniels, though.
Yeah, I think I would have picked a better one.
Yeah, like, let's see.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's his age. That's his age range.
Yeah.
That was when he was somewhat in his prime.
Not really. He was old, and a lot of the thing with this is that was it really that he had an affair, or was it that he wanted to protect Melania's feelings?
She ain't too bad.
When you look at how little money he actually gave her, that doesn't suggest a hush money payment.
Yeah.
That suggests go away because you're going to hurt my wife's feelings, and I can't have that.
To know that I slept with someone who's way less attractive.
Well, not only that, but it doesn't suggest that he ever slept with her.
Yeah.
Because when you look at Bill Clinton and his hush money payments, he paid like $800,000 to a lady.
Yeah. I think it's funny because now Stormy Daniels owes Trump like what, $300,000 or something.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, no, she owes an additional $150,000, so it's almost $500,000.
Yeah.
that she owes Trump
Right.
for all of this.
And I've also heard too that like she's also what do you call it? Monetizing off of this on her OnlyFans.
I'm sure she is. I'm pretty sure she wrote a book about it too.
Yeah, I don't feel sorry for either of them in this
Me
instance.
either. And you know, me and Lonnie talked about this on the way over here. You know, this whole thing is just another reason that I dislike Donald Trump.
Yeah.
I'm really just tired of the circus.
Yeah.
You know, and now
if people are smart,
if he does things that are good for the country, whatever, you know, that's fine. Like, obviously, I want the country to succeed.
Yeah, first and foremost, right?
First and foremost.
But I think if you want Republicans to win in the next election, you will not put Trump as the.
I think that's the only choice they have now.
Yeah.
No, you got DeSantis.
No, I don't.
DeSantis will get crushed by Trump.
But see,
and that's the problem. But they're counting on this indictment to give him felony charges so that he can't be on the ticket.
I think you're looking at this all wrong. I think independents who have voted in the last election or didn't vote in the last election, they see this. This is turning a lot of independents' heads going, okay, this is political targeting.
Yeah. I could see that.
It is.
I definitely think it is. I don't think there's really a question about it. They're seeing this unfold and they're like, okay, if CNN's telling me they don't have anything on this and they're still trying to prosecute him on 34 felony counts of basically nothing,
yeah,
this is exactly what it is.
Yep.
And I think if they put anybody else up there, one, DeSantis is not going to be able to go tit for tat with Trump in a speech.
No, the only way that DeSantis ends up on that ticket is either as vice president or Trump gets convicted of felony. Mm-hmm. Which there's 34 of them waiting for him.
Yeah,
you know,
it only takes one.
And for a DA who ran on, you know, decriminalizing a lot of things, and lowering the sentencing for a lot of things, and not charging people for felonies, he's jumped right in on charging Trump with felonies.
And mind you, a year ago they had nothing in this case.
No, at the federal level they had nothing. They still have nothing because it's not a thing.
And now all of a sudden, poof.
I did see a funny meme by our good friend Matt Skilly.
Also possibly funded by George Soros.
Yes, that too.
Well, so indirectly funded by George Soros. But here's the thing with that, too. So they want to say that he wasn't funded directly by George Soros and he's never spoken to George Soros.
Okay,
George Soros gave money to the PAC because he aligns politically with that PAC.
Yep. And then he just randomly received $1 million in funds, like, shortly after. Where'd that million come from?
Probably George Soros.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, at the end of the day, you're talking about something that's fungible. You know, it didn't all come from George Soros, obviously. But if George Soros donates $3 million to this PAC that Alvin Bragg is being supported by, and then immediately Alvin Bragg gets $1 million.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to say he wasn't.
It's kind of hard to say that he wasn't funded by Soros because Soros funds that PAC, which funds Bragg. Which in turn means I'm not going to give my money to somebody that I don't agree with.
I mean, it's simple.
Right? So
you just have to connect a few dots, but it's there.
It's a roundabout way of indirectly funding candidates. That's what it boils down to, right? So, with that,
there's a lot of other.
What are the chances that you think Trump gets?
I don't think he actually gets convicted of any of them. I don't think that they charge him. I think he'll get acquitted. But like I said, I think that's not really their goal.
No.
Their goal here is to eat up campaigning time, really.
I think so too. Joe?
I don't know, man. It's a hard one for me to say, really.
I think it's because I
was surprised that he got indicted.
Now, here's what
I was too, but
go back and well, I mean, it's New York. I mean, I'm not really surprised at anything with New York.
I mean, I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
For that reason, but I'm surprised because of the precedent it sets.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's no. So the thing is, from the top down, from the federal level down, the precedent's already been set. January 6th. You know, the committee with that.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, but it's never been to this level where it's an actual candidate.
Former president.
Or a former president, you know, and it's a double, it's a double whammy there because it is a former president, but it's also possibly the next president.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing that was brought up is by opening this door, they have now opened the door for all sides to pull this card.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
And that's the problem that I have with it more than anything is that this opens the door for way worse.
I'll say this, if Republicans, you know, a Republican candidate was to win the next election, like Trump or something like that, I would say I would feel a lot more confident, not 100%, that the Republicans wouldn't go this route.
Right.
I do feel that way. I'm not saying I'm like
I don't
90% certain that they wouldn't.
I think it takes a really particularly self-loathing human being to pull this kind of shit over politics.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think that Alvin Bragg is too concerned with where his next Twinkie is coming from and not concerned enough with actually doing the job.
Whoa, Black Debbie.
We'll get there. We'll get there. The Deuce has made a comeback. There's a Deuce trifecta in We Hate Her Tonight.
We love
Did he drop a deuce on Debbie?
Multiple times.
Oh, yeah.
Multiple times. So from there, we're going to go to Putin had an intel officer that has defected.
Yeah, I saw that earlier.
And you know what? I'm here for it because, you know, this could be the end of Putin.
Doesn't seem to be particularly rational anymore. I mean, in layman terms, he's crazy. The interview was with Gleb Karakulov, who's a captain with Russia's Federal Guard Service. He's basically responsible for Kremlin's security, for Putin's security. And his duties included providing encrypted communications for Putin, including on his foreign visits. And last October, when Putin was in Astana, Kazakhstan, Karakulov put into action a plan that he'd been plotting for quite a while to escape, to leave Russia, to desert, basically, to defect. And his wife joined him in Astana with their small child, and he managed to, as he says, alert the attention of his colleagues for a while, and basically jump on a plane to Istanbul.
Why did he come to the conclusion that he had to defect?
Because he said he could no longer take orders from a war criminal, i.e. Putin, and that the war is basically the genocide of the Ukrainian people. He didn't want anything to do with it, and he also didn't want his daughter to grow up in Putin's kind of highly militarized totalitarian Russia.
We've seen people defect before. How is this different? Is it because of the seniority that he held?
He's thought to be the most high-ranking member of the Russian Special Services to defect. So in that case, in that sense, yes, it's significant.
What this interview's done that he's given has given real insight into kind of the mind of President Putin. What do you think have been some of the most dramatic revelations?
Well, I mean, we knew that Putin had been kind of locked up in his private residences, or he'd been kind of holed up in his private residences throughout the pandemic. He kind of gives us details about how he's paranoid. One example he gave was that he had a special secure communications line set up in the bomb shelter of the Russian embassy in Kazakhstan when he was there last year. So he was obviously worried that someone would try to kill him in Kazakhstan. He would have to flee to the bomb shelter. He'd have to get on the phone and call someone. As Karakulov, the defector, says, he's pathologically afraid for his life and he's kind of gripped by paranoia. He also feels that there have been suspicions for years, but he confirmed that Putin has identical offices in his residences across Russia. So when he said, for example, on one occasion that he cited when Russian state television showed Putin holding a meeting at his office near Moscow, he was in fact in Sochi, the Black Sea resort city. And
wow.
He said it's to confuse foreign intelligence and to prevent any attempts on his life. Portrayed him as being in this kind of information vacuum. He doesn't use mobile phone, doesn't use the internet. Basically, his only information comes from his kind of very closest allies. Russian state television,
That's also
which
an
is
issue.
bizarre.
That is a huge issue.
Watching his own propaganda.
Not even they're doing. That's his own doing.
Services, but we all know those
Yeah.
are extremely flawed because there was an FSB report which Putin received just before the war that said the Ukrainian people would greet Russian troops as liberators, which is believed to be a key factor behind his decision to invade. So basically, he's kind of portraying as you said himself, he shut himself off from the world. In reality, has become distorted.
You've been covering Russian relations.
I think that's enough. I think we get the idea, right? Putin is a madman.
Yeah, he's literally psychotic.
Yeah, I mean, so how long do you think it is before somebody gets close enough to him to get rid of him?
I don't think it's long. I think before this next winter. I think before the year's out.
Yeah,
Either he'll get pushed out by his military generals, which
right.
are already like
right there at it,
or someone kills him.
I'm leaning more towards kills him.
Yeah, I mean that's the surefire way, right?
I mean, I think that's the only way that really you get rid of somebody like him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's got to be somebody that's close to him.
Well, and it's got to send a message, right? That's how Russia is. Whenever they carry out anything, it's got to send a message. It's got to prove a point.
Yeah.
You know, it's got to have
for
some
sure.
Extreme.
But see, a lot of them don't like America, even though they think he's crazy. They still don't like America. So I could see him doing it and then blaming it on America.
It doesn't matter at that point. I don't think. Here's the thing. What the problem is right now is Putin's pushing this war in Ukraine, and they see how the tensions are getting outside of Ukraine and Russia with NATO. And I guarantee you all the top military officials in Russia, after they saw what happened with Ukraine, all these failed assaults, and how they're getting basically their asses handed to them, they're like, we don't want to face NATO. Specifically, do not want to face America.
Yeah. Right. And I think you're right. I think you're spot on with that.
I think that's exactly what it is, because they said if NATO gets involved, we're done. We're cooked. Russia is gone. And if Russia's to the point of where their back's against the wall, and you have a madman sitting at the controls,
yep,
he's going to do something that's irreversible.
So, so instead of going to the next topic that's listed there, we're going to go ahead and jump, because you brought up NATO. We're going to go to Finland. Finland has joined NATO.
So,
like, what?
So what?
That to me
Moscow has accused
is
NATO
crazy.
threatening Russia's, and I quote, security and national interests by officially welcoming Finland into the fold. The Kremlin spokesperson said the move will force Moscow to, and again I quote here, take countermeasures to ensure our own security, both tactically and strategically. So I'll put tonight's question to you. How do you expect Moscow to respond?
It's going to take a couple of minutes here.
Well, what we have seen is that Moscow, President Putin has tried to deny sovereign independent nations in Europe to make their own choices, to choose their own path. That was actually the declared purpose of the invasion of Ukraine, was to prevent Ukraine from becoming a member, but also it was a declared policy from President Putin that he wanted Finland and Sweden to never become members of NATO, to close NATO's door. He's getting the exact opposite. He's getting more NATO in the eastern part of the alliance, and he's getting more NATO members, Finland and Sweden. And that's the way free democratic nations are reacting when an authoritarian power like Russia tries to control what neighbors can do and try to re-establish a sphere of influence.
Okay. So,
in the past,
so a lot of libertarians think that NATO is bad, right? And I think the idea of NATO is good. I think the idea of an alliance that protects sovereignty is peace through strength, right? Which is what America kind of has always had, is peace through strength.
Right.
What I don't agree with is the instances where NATO has been abused, like in Iraq.
Yeah.
You know, Iraq never attacked a NATO member. A NATO member attacked them.
Right.
You know, and as bad as Saddam Hussein was, in my opinion, America had no business going there.
Right.
He clearly, you know, the WMD narrative was completely false. We know that now.
Right.
And how many years did we spend over there fighting? We created a power vacuum, which in turn created ISIS. At some point, you have to realize that it's not beneficial to involve yourself in the affairs of other nations in certain instances. Now, as far as peace through strength goes, I agree with it. It's like I said, it's when an abuse of that peace through strength mentality comes in to implement regime change, which is essentially what the war in Iraq did. And it turned it into much worse, in my opinion.
I think the original goal for NATO was, hey, we've all got nukes, and we're all the big boys on the block. Let's all decide we're not going to screw with each other. And if one of us gets screwed with, we'll come to the other one's aid, basically.
Well, you know, Article 5 is an attack on one, is an attack on all.
Right. Yeah, like, I agree with it in the sense of, hey, we're keeping everybody safe, you know, and you know, like, defending innocent people in countries and stuff, but I don't agree with it in the sense of, like, if Germany decides, you know what, we're going to act a fool. Okay, well, I don't want to go to Germany's aid if they're out there acting a fool, you know what I mean?
Right. Which, I mean, that brings me back to my whole, you know, Desert Storm, Desert Freedom, whatever the last operation in Iraq was called.
It was definitely not Desert Storm.
Well, no, I know that, but I don't know. I can't
Iraqi Freedom?
Yeah, that one. Desert Freedom, Iraqi Freedom, same fucking thing. It's all fucking desert over there.
Liberate the sandbox.
So, here's the thing, though. So, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, which is NATO, was created in 1949 by the United States, Canada, and several Western European nations to provide collective security against the Soviet Union. It's literally always been about Russia.
Quite frankly.
I mean, do you see how Putin could take the expansion of NATO as anti-Russian? Because that was literally the purpose in 1949.
I mean, I would take it as anti-Russian, because why else would Finland join NATO? They're not just like, hey, bro, I feel like joining NATO today.
Well, I mean, they are a border country to Russia, and, you know...
I'm saying it's strategically smart for Finland.
Strategically, yes, and it's a peace through strength thing, right?
It's basically NATO flexing saying, hey, look, we got people joining us, not you.
But here's the thing. An organization that has historically been anti-Russian is being criticized by Russia for encroaching on Russian territory and marching straight up to their borders with all these countries. And you expect us to wonder why? As a sovereign nation, wouldn't America feel threatened if Canada and Mexico decided to form an alliance and surrounded us?
Yeah, that'd feel weird. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But
Like,
Russia also did
with the sole purpose of protecting against the United States, right?
But at the same time, though, Russia is the one over there being like, we're going to bomb the shit out of all y'all. We're going to do it.
Well,
we're going to
yeah,
freaking do it.
but
And
again-
then, I mean, you can't be surprised when everybody's like, you know what, we don't like that idea, so we're going to ban against you.
Again, though, once it became clear that the Soviet Union was not a threat, you stop expanding, right? Because something's going to come after the Soviet Union. Whether it's better or worse is beside the point. Something's going to fill that void, and they're automatically going to assume that NATO is out to get them. And that's exactly what's happened.
I mean, me personally, I'd like it if we just took Russia. A lot of nice land over there to be had.
I don't want to go to Russia.
God.
No, fuck Russia.
Kate is in the chat.
Oh, look at there. So, yeah, I have trouble being okay with NATO because of this. Like, because of the fact that it was formed primarily as an anti-Soviet Union entity, and it has continually expanded closer and closer to Russia. I can see how it looks to Russia.
Yeah, I mean...
Like, to the Russian government.
I can see both sides of this. I can see how it makes sense for people to want to join NATO because you got a person who's in power who was a strong believer in the Soviet Union, right?
Right.
Putin.
Right.
So, I mean, he's kind of bringing back similarities to, not to a full extent, right? But what he believes in as far as, like, the Soviet Union and how it was a disgrace that it fell and all this stuff. But, but I can also see from, like, your point of view where, like, once the Soviet Union fell,
there's no longer a need to expand.
The purpose of NATO has dispersed.
Yeah.
There's no need for it after that.
Right,
But at the same
right.
time, I can see it.
I can see the peace through strength objectives of NATO,
Right.
but I also see Russia's point of they've been encroaching into our territory.
Right, I can see that too. But also at the same time, it also makes sense in another aspect of what early on Russia told Finland and who else?
Sweden, I think.
Sweden, don't dare try join NATO. You'll regret it or we'll retaliate.
Yeah.
So like at that same point, it's like they're kind of being the schoolyard bully at this point.
Right.
Russia is, so it's like,
Yeah.
you know what?
I mean, again, though, when you look at...
that's kind of how I look at it.
I can see
and I'm not saying this because I'm pro-Russian. I'm not. I want Russia to fail because Russia is a shithole.
And I'm just saying, I can see multiple. This is a multifaceted problem. I don't think it's one way
telling
or the other.
Finland you better not join NATO is essentially saying if you join NATO, we're gonna fuck you up.
But at the same point,
and NATO basically said, "Fuck around and find out."
Yeah, yeah.
And at the end of the day, is it escalatory for Russia to threaten Finland, or is it escalatory for Finland to do exactly what Russia has said don't do?
I think in both cases it's escalatory.
I mean, I feel like it's a mutually. It's a standoff at that point, right?
At this point, I feel like all sides involved want this to escalate into World War III.
I think. Okay. So see,
I think that's what everybody on either side of this wants.
Well, I think one between Russia invading, right, and not taking any kind of, not heeding any advice from anybody outside of this conflict, and then with NATO and the United States and Great Britain and everything sending all this money and supplies and military equipment and stuff over. Yeah, I think it's mutually agreed upon that neither side is going to.
Neither side's backing down.
Yeah.
And that's the problem.
Yeah.
There are no off-roads.
Right.
Nobody's providing an off-ramp.
There is one off-ramp.
The only off-ramp that
see, this is where I was like, okay, welcome to Joe's Conspiracy Corner real quick. This is the plan by the New World Order.
Well, clearly.
They want the nuclear. They want the mushroom.
Yeah, they do. I mean, that's the easiest way to subjugate the masses is to eliminate the majority of the masses.
Right.
I think at this point, outside of a nuclear war, or I wouldn't even go to the extent of nuclear war, but bringing more countries in.
There would definitely be multiple nuclear strikes around the world, not just one.
Well, I'm just saying, like, instead of a nuclear type of event, period, I think outside of other countries just getting involved, like China coming to the aid of Russia or
India.
Yeah, India,
Any of them.
Pakistan, any of that kind of thing. I think, or countries coming to the aid of Ukraine, United States, Canada, Great Britain, that sort of thing. That's one. Before any of that, I think the only way to avoid any of that happening is what we just discussed.
Yeah.
Is Putin being taken out or ousted.
Yeah, and I think that's the only viable off-ramp that the West has. I think the viable off-ramp that the East has, they have two. They have kill Putin, and then they have just withdraw.
Yeah.
They're not going to withdraw.
No, not with Putin in charge.
Not with Putin in charge. So your only off-ramp is somebody within the Russian government killing Putin.
And I'll say this. I was watching Joe Rogan's podcast not too long ago, and there was a former CIA official pretty high up the chain, and that's what he said. He said, no, it wasn't on Joe Rogan. It was an article where someone had interviewed this guy, and he said that Putin is a dead man walking at this point.
He is.
And
if
I
the
would
cancer
say-
doesn't kill him, somebody's going to.
Not even the cancer. He was saying that he's going to be ousted, or there is going to be an assassination attempt on his life.
Yeah,
like without question.
But here's the thing: you heard it from his top intel official. He's extremely paranoid about this. He's not going to put himself in a position where somebody can kill him.
Yeah, I mean, but also at the same time, that kind of creates a vacuum. If your top guy, right, your top security guy leaves, now what? Who do you trust?
Who do you
more
trust
than that
now?
guy?
Yeah.
You know, that guy's like your guy.
Yeah.
That's like your top Secret Service guy.
Yeah.
Signed to the detail of the president.
That's
leaving.
one of those guys that if word had gotten out that he was going to defect,
He'd been dead.
He would
And
have
his
been.
family.
He would have been immediately unalived.
Yeah, him and his whole family.
Right? Am I wrong in
No,
assuming that?
I
yeah.
agree with that. I agree
Okay.
with that.
So, I think the whole Russia-Ukraine thing is finally coming to a point where it's either going to end or it's going to escalate into all-out World War III.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it's looking more and more like the latter.
Yeah, World War III, definitely.
So,
get your freedom seeds.
what's your opinion on Finland joining NATO? Is it good or bad?
I would say mostly good.
You know, I mean, I'm looking at this from different perspectives. I think it's good for NATO.
I think it's good for Finland.
I think it's good for NATO. I think it's good for Finland. But as a whole, for the Russia-Ukraine thing, I do think it is bad.
Yeah,
If that
it
makes
can be
sense.
considered an escalation, like we said. Yeah,
So, I'm on the fence.
That's kind of how I am.
Because I think that, and I've said it multiple times already, I think that NATO's purpose has been fulfilled, but from a peace through strength mentality, which is what we have here in America, is a peace through strength, I think that it is a collective good for more nations to be in cooperation with one another. I think it's a collective bad for the East because, well, you're not NATO.
Right.
I think it's a collective bad for the Southern Hemisphere because they're not NATO. And I think it's especially a collective bad for Ukraine and Russia.
Yeah.
Any disagreement there?
No.
So, as with everything, pros and cons, right?
Yeah.
So, I think overall it gets a C on a grade.
Yeah, I think the best method here would have been to stagnate a little bit, right? Tell Finland like, hey, pal,
Hold off until this is over, then you join.
you tell them like, right, you're in, but you're not in. You know what I mean?
Like
You're-
you know, like you're good.
Okay,
you're
you know,
good.
you're the guy, but you're not the guy.
It's like when
if
you
they mess
apply
with you,
for.
we're coming. Don't worry. But
It's like when you apply for a job and you know somebody who works there, and they come to you and they say, "Hey, look, you're the guy,
but you're not the guy.
but don't say you're the guy." Okay,
Right,
You're a
Yeah,
shoo-in,
nobody
but you're
nobody
not.
else knows that you're
like
the
if
guy.
Russia, messes with you, like we're coming. Don't worry. But don't tell them that.
Yep.
And I think if they would have went that route, right, just not put it on paper, not
Yeah.
make it available, I think it would have benefited. I really do. And I think
do
if,
too.
and I think if Finland was in the loop and we're like, "Hey, look, pal, we got you.
Yeah.
You're good."
But you have to put Finland in that loop.
Right. Yeah, there's no way you can't just go on and carry on like, "Hey,
Right.
look."
And then when everything
Germany,
calms down,
Russia, Italy, they're all like, Finland's in, and Finland's like, what? Huh?
yeah, Finland has to be in the loop, but you can't broadcast it.
Right. I think
think-
that would have been the best.
I think the best course of action for all of this would have been to pause all NATO admissions
Yeah, I agree.
until the Russia-Ukraine situation was resolved.
And I think what it is like, the way I look at it is I think like even by doing that, it's not really like cowering to Russia's will and doing what they're telling you to do, is more so of you're just keeping Putin a little more at ease, right?
Yeah.
And that's what you want. You want to keep him at ease. You don't
Because
want
then he's actually willing to talk to you.
right. But look, man, Finland, Sweden, they're not in here, man. Like, you
No.
know, we're good.
Okay. So, next topic. and this is a hard one to talk about, right? Because I know what the main knee-jerk reaction from a lot of sides is, and it's not good. But I think that we need to look deeper into this issue, and of course, this is the school shooting that happened in Nashville.
The Metro.
Because we haven't been on, we haven't been able to talk about this stuff since it happened. And, obviously our hearts break for these kids and these families that are suffering through this and that whole community. But this is not an excuse to disarm millions and millions of law-abiding citizens that give us the peace through strength that we enjoy so much because of the Second Amendment. With that thought in mind, what happened here was absolutely terrible. But banning this or that gun doesn't solve it. Go ahead.
Police releasing surveillance video of the moments leading up to the shooting there at the Covenant School, that grade school that left 3 young children dead and 3 administrators dead as well. We want to show you that right now. We want to just warn you that this is very graphic and viewer discretion is advised. It does show the moments the shooter entered the school and began looking around. Let's watch. Okay, so there you can see the vehicle the shooter drove, that 28-year-old from Nashville, driving up in the parking lot here of the school. This was released just moments ago by the Metro Nashville Police Department. The shooter, who the police identified as Audrey E. Hale, saying that the individual identifies as transgender, entered the building by firing through a side door. There you see it. The shooter walks in, kicks the glass.
Took her time.
Armed with 2 assault-style weapons and a handgun. That's according to John Drake. He's the Nashville Police Department chief there. So remember, the police identified 6 victims in this shooting there, the shooter, and you can see bracing the weapon, the sirens, it looks like, going off there. And remember, viewer discretion is advised. This literally just happened this morning, and emotions are still raw and still very, very fresh for this community, as now they are seeing this as well. The moments that 28-year-old shooter walked into the Covenant School there in Metro Nashville and started shooting. There it looks like they pass some type of front entrance. This is at a private Christian elementary school. Okay, so that is the first video released by Metro Nashville Police. Very, very difficult to watch, but you saw the moments there, Audrey Hale firing these weapons to get into this side door, shattering the glass of the door. Take a look, though. Police also released photos of the weapons that were used. Okay, so there you can see, looks to have some type of sticker decal on the magazine.
And it's an AR pistol and a Kel-Tec 9mm.
Yep.
And then an M&P Shield EZ.
And there, a handgun as well. Okay, so you're getting a better sense now of the weapons, at least what they looked like. You saw the shooter there enter the school with those 2 assault
Okay, we can
weapons.
cut this off now because honestly, at the end of the day, like, this footage doesn't matter. This woman
And
killed
She is a woman.
6 people, including 3 9-year-old children. For what purpose? She specifically targeted the child of someone who was counseling her, trying to help her. Killed his 9-year-old daughter. At the end of the day, this is about a sick individual who did this out of pure hatred for Christians.
Yes.
That's what this amounts to.
Especially considering they went to a church just before that.
Correct.
And there was no one there, so they left and went to the Christian school.
Yes. So, I mean, you saw she entered the church office and was gone for a few minutes and then came back and went into the school.
This is undoubtedly, and it won't be called this because the shooter is transgender, but this is a hate crime.
No. It's not a hate crime. Hate crimes, that's stupid. It was terrorism against a religious belief.
And I agree more with Lonnie's take on that, just because of the fact that this is meant to incite terror.
Right, yeah.
This isn't meant to send a message to Christians. This is meant to make people afraid. And you know what?
It is meant to send a message to Christians because
well,
there are videos that came out after this of people almost being in support. Have you seen the videos?
We'll get there.
Okay. I'm about to say, because there are some people that actually are like, this
There
is our time.
a lot of people are calling the shooter a victim.
Yeah, right,
I'm sorry, but
exactly.
you're not a fucking victim. You murdered children. You lose victim status the second you murder innocent children.
You're trash. You're garbage. You are nothing.
There is a special place in hell reserved for you. And honestly, you deserve every single fucking bit of torment that you're going to receive because you are lower than trash.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it's bad enough if you're killing just innocent people that are adults. I mean,
children is another thing.
Children, innocent children who literally have no dog in this fight.
Right.
With whatever you're dealing with at any level.
Right. And that brings me to something that, again, Lonnie and I talked about on the way over here. You know, I'm socially liberal on a lot of things. You know, I think weed should be legal. I think that if you're gay, you should be able to be gay and be happy. If you want to dress like a woman and have people call you a woman or, you know, by
Nobody
a different
should
name,
have to call you that name.
Then,
but if you want people, you should be
you know,
free to want people
you
to
do
call
what
you
you
that name.
want to as an adult, but you leave children out of it.
Right.
When it comes to children, I'm the most diehard conservative person you will ever meet. Do not fuck with my kids or anybody else's kids.
Yeah.
You don't mess with kids.
Yeah, kids deserve to be kids.
Kids are off limits.
Yep.
Period.
Kids
End of
deserve to be
discussion.
kids.
And I have no problem wearing that orange jumpsuit if you mess with my kids or anybody else's kids.
Yeah, I mean, kids deserve to be kids. They need to let them grow up, you know, because childhood is something that's not around for very long,
Right.
as it is.
No, it's
let
not.
them be a kid, man. Let them
Exactly.
be stress-free and worry-free and just let them worry about very minute things.
It's disgusting. So
because childhood is already diminishing as time goes on. Like kids are growing up, you know, ideologically, or you know, they're not actually growing up. I'm saying mentally, they're growing up a lot faster now than they used to.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and they're struggling to actually be kids with the advent of all this technology that we've got now. Like, and Kate and I were talking about this the other day. Luke is like addicted to electronics.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
I would say Bryson's getting there. I was going to talk to Beth this evening about how we needed to kind of, you know,
it's gotten to the point where, you know, Kate and I are trying to limit his screen time the weeks that he's with us to, like 30 minutes after dinner every day. That's it. That's all you get. And it's like it's all he wants to do, though. The twins, they could care less. You put a movie on the TV and then they'll play with their toys or whatever.
Right.
So,
And, I was listening to a thing the other day saying that more children now have suicidal tendencies than ever before. Like children.
But you think about how much more they're exposed to.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying about like how they're growing up a lot quicker now.
Dude, when I was
because of that.
Like I'm sure all of us were like this back when I was a kid. It was like ride your bike with your friends and like go play at a creek and be outside soon as you were able to.
Back in our day, parents weren't like, "Hey, what is your idea on this political issue?" Or we need to get you involved with this political issue. It was our parents did not want to involve us with anything political.
When I was a kid, I didn't know what the fuck politics were, which is how it should be.
Right, exactly.
Kids
should be allowed to be
It was not my place to fight politics when I was 8 years old.
And, I think the earliest that I got involved in anything political was when we invaded Iraq.
Yeah.
But that was such a charged time. And I think you relate to it as well because, we remember it so well.
Yeah.
We were old enough to know what was going on.
I can't say that I did. I knew about it, but like...
Right. You're what, 27?
28.
28?
So,
I was close.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like when 9/11 happened, I was in 2nd grade.
Yeah, see...
So
we were in
6th grade.
And we knew exactly what was happening.
Right.
Well, at first we didn't. But then, as the day went on, we figured it
obviously, but, we had the understanding of children, but we knew that this was something that would bring Americans together.
Right.
Regardless of race or creed.
I remember it very well, like when they sent all the schools home and everything on 9/11, after it happened, they released all the schools home. I remember going home and my mom was like, talking with my dad and stuff, and I asked my mom, I was like, "What's the World Trade Center?" I had no clue. I had no idea what it was. Nothing, not a clue, and that's how it should be.
And a lot of these kids that are partaking in all of this stuff that's just dividing the country further, they don't understand how unifying that was, or the America that we grew up in, and they're trying to turn America into something that it's not supposed to be.
Right.
At the end of the day, we've got to come together as a nation again. We have to. Because all of this divisive rhetoric and stuff, it's just going to lead us to a place that we don't want to go. And I know that we have some things that we say that are divisive, like we call Karine Jean-Pierre Black Debbie, and just...
But it's not because of a race.
But it's not for any reason other than it's funny.
Well, and we didn't find something because of her race. It was because she's the president's spokeslady. And
to be fair, she is black, so
but that's not why we're making...
look uncannily like...
But that's not why we're making fun of her.
Correct. It's literally like they changed Little Debbie's race to black.
But what I'm saying is that's not why we chose to make fun of her.
It's not why we make fun of her.
We chose to make fun of her.
We could make fun of her for that because I think it's fucking hilarious. And that's just because it is. Because she looks like fucking Little Debbie, just black.
Guess what? Humor is good.
Humor is good. And that's, I think, what a lot of the younger generations lack is a good sense of humor.
Yeah, stop getting offended by everything. Sometimes shit's just funny.
You know what? At the end of the day, nobody gives a fuck about your feelings. Okay, you just shut the fuck up. Now.
Lonnie, I'm offended by that, Lonnie.
Hold on.
I'm offended by that.
That was a genius statement.
First off, what is a man? Second off, what is a woman? Third of all, who the fuck cares?
I like the third one there.
Yeah, me too.
Granted, I like my sovereignty as a man, and I think women deserve their sovereignty as women.
But they have that.
But what I'm saying is we shouldn't be calling them women birthing peoples or whatever.
No, you're demeaning women.
A birthing person.
Anyway, we're getting way off topic here. Now,
do
you remember that shooting in Uvalde, Texas, where the cops stood outside for 30 minutes?
Oh, yeah.
Are you ready to see how that should have been handled?
Yes.
Yeah, it's You ever seen SEAL Team 6 raid a compound in the middle of the desert?
These cops threw down.
Listen.
Look, I tell you
hold
what.
on. These cops fuck.
They fuck. These cops
I'm just
also
saying.
grew up watching fucking Rambo.
These cops fuck. Okay, they ran in there with their giant man-sized balls and took care of the problem, and you're gonna see that right now.
And look, just before we get into it,
like, they did not stop. It was
now, as far
balls
as
to the wall the whole time.
Hold on, as far as the Uvalde cops are concerned, they were loose pussies.
Yep, little peepees.
Tiny peepees definitely do not fuck.
They only fuck Thumbelina and her 4 sisters.
They only fucking missionary in complete silence.
No.
And then they use a...
They don't get laid at all.
With themselves.
And then they cry themselves to sleep on their rainbow
listen,
cock-shaped pillows.
We're still giving them too much credit. They don't have sex at all.
Oh yeah, they're incels for sure.
They definitely jerk to
wow, I
Teletubby
just
porn.
used incel on the show. Stupid me.
They definitely jerk it to Teletubby porn.
And give me a failure.
Hear me?
Smell like
Yeah, I heard you.
They jerk it to Teletubby porn. That's what they do.
Thumbelina and her 4 sisters.
There you go. That'll work too.
Pamela Henderson.
All right,
let's let these guys show us what absolute studs they are.
I'm ready to get my fucking blood pressure up. Look at this. Look at this. Fucking testosterone flowing.
Cover left. Go. Hit that stair. Hit the stairs. Go. Keep pushing. Go.
Look at this.
Now watch this shit.
Not walking, running.
Right.
Now pause it for a second, Lonnie.
I believe they cut out the part where there was a little girl laying in the floor. That part was kind of...
I don't remember seeing that when I watched it.
There was a little girl in the floor.
Well, they've actually cut out a lot of parts because at first, when he first gets to the scene, he opens his trunk and he's getting his rifle out and he's saying, I need three, trying to get officers with him.
Yep. Gets a layout of the building from the woman, grabs the keys from another guy,
Right.
unlocks the door, tells all the other cops, let's
Goes
go!
in, immediately they start clearing the first floor, which is what you're supposed to do. They
Then they start
hear
hearing-
shots from upstairs because this dumbass is firing on the cops that are showing up. Okay? So they go upstairs, and this is the events. Watch this.
Dirt nap.
No, it's not over yet.
Stop moving. You wiggling.
Shoot first, ask questions later. Why is this froze?
It froze the...
Oh, no. We need to find the real video.
I can find it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, well, it's NBC, you know. They don't want to give too much shame to the victim.
Actually, I can pull it up on here real quick.
Let's do that because I want to see the whole thing.
It's NBC. They don't want to shame the victim too much, Justin. You know, she is a victim, you know. Stupid.
Because they released the whole footage.
Got you. Right here.
And it goes into both points of view. And I really want you to...
What? Hello?
The fuck?
The internet just decided to unalive.
Let's see what this one is.
I know this one's it. I watched this one.
This is a fucking problem.
There we go. I got it.
Okay. Yep. Here we go. Okay, we can skip through the surveillance footage.
Yep. Yeah, because this kind of shows.
Did you full screen this?
Yes. All right.
Here we go.
Okay, here we go.
This guy.
Don't worry, this does blur the part that Joe was talking about. Where there's
That might be why I didn't see it, because I think this is the one that I saw.
Yeah, well, this one is in it. You can tell.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
You can tell there's someone in this video, but they do blur that. So
You could tell it's a child, though, because it's a very small body.
Yeah.
They're upstairs.
Hey. Give me 3. Let's get 3.
Again, this guy fucks.
well, this guy was a former Marine.
That explains a lot.
This guy was a Marine. This guy.
See, I didn't know that.
Yep.
But it makes perfect sense.
And in the Marines, you know, you hear gunfire, you go towards it. I mean,
Even the chubby cop's moving, man.
Well, yeah, it's at a school, and this is how officers are supposed to respond.
it doesn't matter if you're the only cop there. You go in.
You
Yeah,
go to
yeah,
the danger.
exactly.
And if you can't do that, don't sign up for the job.
Right.
And I mean, they're clearing everything. They want to make absolutely certain that nothing gets by them.
I mean, they got a dude covering the door. They got 2 dudes sweeping the rooms. I mean, perfection.
Yep. You can tell this guy was definitely in the armed services. Now that you say that,
The way he
it
holds
makes
his
way
gun, the
more
way he clears
sense.
rooms.
Yeah.
I mean, turns on his tack light for like shock and awe value for the perpetrator. Like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of things that you can see translated over.
This guy makes me proud.
Yeah.
No, that's locked. Take this door.
Look, calm, not nervous, not rattled.
Yeah.
Doing a job, knows exactly what he's got to do. He's not waiting for orders from nobody.
He went in. He
Even
got
if
there
even
and
if
went
he
in.
got orders, ignored. I guarantee it.
You couldn't have told this man to stand down if you had a gun to his head. Straight up the stairs. Like a fucking badass.
There was the...
Yeah, I didn't see it. Now, watch this shit.
Doesn't even think twice.
No, there's no hesitation.
Just freaking...
Woo! 3 shots, 3 hits. Maybe the last one missed. Now,
this is where you see the body.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the secondary officer.
No, locked door. Where did they go in? First floor, first floor, first floor. Hold there, y'all. Somebody hold there. Hit that door.
I haven't seen this footage.
This is the
not the entirety of this one.
This is the guy that
This is the second.
Yeah, this is the second cop that shot.
Right.
Equally as on point as the other guy. I mean.
Yep.
I'm with you. Go left. Straight.
I mean, well organized unit of cops here. They all know what they got to do. There's no hesitation. It's a well-oiled machine.
Yep.
Hit that stairs. Hit the stairs. Go. Those stairs. Go. Go.
They heard the shots fired from upstairs.
Keep pushing. Go. Shots fired.
Yeah,
Shots fired.
Yeah.
Right. Push with LPVO. Go right. Move. Watch out. Move. Stop moving. Watch left. Suspect down.
Okay.
You know, and I'm waiting for them to be like, why did the cop shoot her so many times? Why didn't they give her a chance to surrender?
Why didn't they shoot her in the leg?
Like, no, I think they handled it exactly how they should
They
have
did
handled
handle it exactly how they should have.
Eliminate all possible threat.
End her.
Yes.
End her.
So now you've seen the appropriate police response. Now let's go to our friends down under to see the Australian take.
But first, school in Nashville, where 28-year-old Audrey Hale, who identified as a man, shot and killed 3 9-year-olds and 3 schoolworkers
Hot
before
damn.
police reached her and she was neutralised. Now, in the aftermath of this horror, something very strange happened. Instead of politicians, corporations and celebrities issuing messages of solidarity with the Christian community, the victims of this mass shooting, they were instead expressing support for the transgender community, and the media was strangely preoccupied with not misgendering the mass killer, God forbid. And we even had stories about how the killer could have been a children's book illustrator. Meanwhile, CBS banned staffers from using the word transgender when reporting on the Nashville shooter, despite the fact that police said she was transgender and cited that as a key point in the case. But instead of examining that aspect, or perhaps reflecting on how the hyperbole around the trans community being supposedly marginalised and even victims of a modern-day genocide may lead to such crimes, the media, celebrity and political class launched into a full-blown trans activist mode. It was, after all, about to be International Transgender Day of Visibility. Leading the charge was President Joe Biden, who released this frankly absurd statement where he said, "Transgender Americans shape our nation's soul. Proudly serving in the military, curing deadly diseases,
I love the
holding
picture
electric
they
vehicles,
used.
Yeah, me too.
running thriving businesses, fighting for justice, raising families, and much more." And White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre was also eager to express support and solidarity, not for the Christian community that had just been attacked.
Hold on. I gotta point out something. I'll say this. Joe Biden was partially correct. He had some things in there that trans people do run businesses. They do live lives.
Unfortunately, the optics of it look fucking terrible.
But at the end of the day, who gives a flying fuck? So does everybody else.
Yeah.
What makes them so fucking special?
Nothing.
That's my point. I don't dislike you any less than the average person. I don't have anything against you.
Yeah, actually, what pisses me off is that you try to act like you're special.
Yeah,
Listen,
why are you
that's
so
what
fucking
pisses me
special?
off.
I don't care that you believe that you're the opposite sex. I care that you put yourself at the center of attention because you're different.
Yeah, who gives a fuck?
Nobody cares.
There's a
Just
lot of
like I
people
don't
who are
care if you're black, Hispanic,
Chinese,
Asian,
yeah,
white. I don't care.
yeah. I don't care.
But if you want to try to make a
about
thing out
who
of it,
you are.
I care if you're a good person. or
yeah.
not.
But if you want to try to make a thing out of it, I kind of don't like you.
Yeah.
Even when you're white, when you try to make
Yeah, it's universal hatred, like distaste
be a
for
human
people
being.
who want to make themselves something that they don't need to be.
Like it's not our problem. Your daddy didn't hug you. Like.
Or maybe your daddy hugged you too much.
Or that.
Or your uncle.
I mean, either way.
Yeah.
Your problems aren't our problems.
But I just want-
Wait,
my problems aren't your problems.
Didn't Joe Biden take inappropriate showers with his daughter Ashley?
Mm-hmm.
Weird. Anyway.
Funny how that didn't really come out.
Oh, it did.
It did. It just got squashed.
Well, yeah.
Just like Hunter Biden.
It is shameful. It is disturbing, and our hearts go out to the trans community as they are under attack right now.
Hold on.
Pause. Who is being attacked?
First off, a trans person just killed 6 innocent people.
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm kind of retarded.
Didn't know that snippet of KJP was in there, but thank you for playing it,
You're
Lonnie.
welcome. I'm here doing what I can.
It's just you picked the best frame to freeze on.
I didn't realize that.
Anyway, okay, continue, because we're about to hear from somebody who is a white supremacist who just happens to be black.
Oh, good.
Takes
I like those.
superstar and freak show Madonna, who posted a message
Oh, yeah, this is
to
disgusting,
the
too.
trans community
Fuck.
in Nashville, and said she'll be donating some of the proceeds from her concert there to the trans community. Not the school that was just attacked in Nashville, no, not that one. She was also posted a bizarre message about supposed laws and not messing with drag queens. That is the state of the culture right now. Celebrities, corporates, and the overwhelming majority of the media relentlessly pushing the trans activist rhetoric. You saw that right here in Australia and New Zealand with the manner in which the Let Women Speak tour was covered. But
Bugger
in
off.
America, there is at least
Bugger
a
off,
counter to
yeah.
this madness. The red states, such as Florida and Texas, are upholding parental rights and putting a stop to many of the excesses of the trans movement, whether it's drag queens dancing for
Oh my
toddlers
God.
or inappropriate material in school.
Why would you
libraries.
take your child to that?
Virginia is another state where parental rights
got
and
a few
children are
screws loose.
taught in class became a top-line issue that saw the state flip from Democrat to Republican. And as an antidote to some of the crazy I've shown you this morning, from the Biden White House to Madonna,
Here we go.
Here is Virginia Lieutenant Governor Winsome Sears,
The black white
telling us what it
supremacist.
is, and even winning cheers from Bill Maher's lefty crowd. Here she is with Bill Maher and a reporter.
This is beautiful.
They're usually very particular about the subjective sense of gender identity in respecting that. If someone says they're a man, they're a man. But in this case, they're not doing that.
Hang on, you know what? This person murdered 6 people. I don't really care who you say you are. You murdered 6 people, and 3 of them were children. You don't get a say. Well, she's dead now, so, but you don't get a say in telling us who you are and what you're about. You killed 6 people.
Okay, but
That's what
let's
really
take her out of it.
She wasn't done there. She then talked about the...
You, ma'am.
I'd even.
Get.
Yeah. I'd even argue that now her pronouns are was and were.
Yeah, you stole that from me, bitch.
Well, I started something and you changed it to was and were.
Which I stole from the internet, so.
Yeah, her pronouns are now was and were. And notice I won't say he because you're a woman.
You had a vagina. Yes.
I was doing that by myself. That's why it sounded that way.
No. It's all good. All right, continue.
wider issue of parental rights and protecting children from inappropriate content and indoctrination.
Which is what it's about. Okay, that's enough.
I'm a parent.
The rest of it is irrelevant. So, let me get this straight. Trans people are the victims in this whole thing. And we're all bigots because a trans person shot up a Christian day school. Am I getting this right?
I do believe there were some people that actually did come out to be like, we know this is what you get.
I mean, but yeah. But here's the thing. Nobody fucking deserves to be killed for their beliefs.
No.
Ever.
Including trans people.
Exactly.
Because, you know, at the end of the day, they're people. They're sick. They're misguided. But they're still people.
Now, those people that think that pineapple belongs on pizza, you don't deserve to be killed, but you deserve some very heinous things.
First off, I will fuck you up.
You like your pineapple on
I
pizza?
like pineapple on pizza. It's delicious. It also helps with acid reflux.
Disgraceful.
No, not disgraceful. You're disgraceful.
You'd at least deserve for a dog to lick your ears, like in the hole, and not be able to get it dry. You deserve that.
No.
You deserve.
I just have a different taste in pizza than you.
Smell like failure.
Again, I can disagree with you and still get along with you.
Yeah, I mean,
no, I'm saying that's
I like
at the end of the day,
the only
I
exception.
like you as a person, but your choice in pizza is now.
And that's fine. You
Terrible.
can say that all you want. I like it without pineapple too, but I do like pineapple and
I
bacon.
respect that. I mean,
I must say,
pineapple, bacon, top tier pizza.
No, I must say
Yes.
Disagree, but hey.
the best pizza is chicken jalapeno.
No.
I also would disagree with that as well. But
I do like Cece's Pizza barbecue chicken.
that dude slap.
It slaps pretty good.
Cece's Pizza mac and cheese pizza. Thank you.
Okay, so you're still.
Are we just neglecting the cinnamon pizza?
Hold on.
cinnamon
First off,
pizza, yeah.
that's apple pie pizza. You shut your fucking whore mouth.
It tastes like
And it is
cinnamon
delicious.
roll pizza.
No, they have cinnamon rolls and then they have apple pie pizza.
Last time I went there, they had the pizza with cinnamon topping, like cinnamon roll toppings on it.
Well, that's weird. I've never had that.
Yeah,
And
so you know.
Yeah, the barbecue pizza with like the bacon on top, man.
I mean, fair enough, Lonnie, but to be fair, I've never seen it that way. All I've ever seen is the apple pie pizza and then the cinnamon rolls.
Beth would probably argue that her favorite is bacon. Is it bacon cheddar ranch, Beth? Your favorite pizza? What?
Not bacon cheddar and ranch.
Barbecue pizza is your favorite?
Wow, you don't even know your wife.
Well, there for a while she was on
Shameful him.
No, am I right? You were on a kick. You were on a kick there for a while for that bacon. Was it? It wasn't bacon.
Disgraceful.
Oh yeah, it's disgraceful.
No, what
Sorry,
was that
my
ranch
bad.
pizza you liked?
Chicken bacon ranch.
It was chicken bacon ranch.
How about you shut the fuck up, Joe? So
This is
anyway,
Joe.
Go, you know the thing.
that was Joe right now,
And the other Joe as well.
and the other Joe because he doesn't know what's going on either.
Oh man, you share a name with that doofus.
Now,
No, his name is Joseph. My name's Joe.
that's fair. That is a valid point.
True.
So now we're gonna skip the manifesto because there's really not much in there. And honestly, you know what? They don't deserve any more coverage than they've already had. Now, there has been another transgender person who is planning some shootings that got stopped. So, William Whitworth, who goes by something else because, you know, he thinks he's a woman, extremely misguided.
What's his ad?
I don't know.
Don't piss off old people.
I fix stuff.
Anyway, so this person was planning mass shootings for a middle school and some churches. Now, somebody reported it. Police took the appropriate actions and arrested him. Unlike the formerly alive mass shooter in Tennessee. So, I mean, just look at that face.
Do you see it, people? Do you see it?
That person.
Do you see it?
You know what that person to me looks like? that person looks like the dude from Deadpool 2. The kid from Deadpool 2, right in the face, the fat kid.
I'm trying to remember that one.
No, I don't.
You don't remember it? He had an Australian accent and everything.
I don't really remember Deadpool
Anyway,
2.
that looks like that kid.
Are you talking about the same? Was he the same guy that played in Kong versus Godzilla?
No clue, because I've never seen that.
Hold on.
Just look up the fat kid from Deadpool 2.
I'm literally just Googling.
I mean,
Fat kid, Deadpool 2.
Yeah, same guy. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, Lonnie, why don't you pull that up real quick?
His name is Julian Dennison.
Yeah, just search Julian
yeah,
Dennison.
he's the same guy from Kong versus Godzilla.
What?
He's New Zealand, Justin.
Yeah, whatever. They sound the same. Yeah, that one.
Oh, yeah, I don't remember that kid. He was also in the new season of Stranger Things.
I don't know. But, I mean, just
watch Stranger
look at that face and then go back and look at the...
Yep, pretty close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only thing missing is a smile.
Yeah.
But this one, yeah, I get that.
So, what's hilarious is that when arrested, this person's residence was covered in trash and they were drunk.
Huh.
And told officers, I might be a little drunk.
Officer, I'm not as stinky as you drunk I am.
Exactly. So,
to be fair, this is not to defend any mass shooter. But this also shows that our mental health system is failing us.
No. We
And
don't
parents
have,
are failing their children.
Hold on. We don't have a mental health problem. We have a discipline problem.
Well, I think we have a mental health problem.
There's a self-accountability
No.
problem.
The discipline problem has led to the mental health problem.
Well, I think
At the end of the day, if you were to go back to, I don't know, the way that we parented in the early 90s or
But you get your
the
ass
80s
beat.
or the 70s or the 60s where your parents literally beat their kids' asses.
When your daddy goes, boy, don't make me take my fucking belt
But
off.
I don't think you have any of these problems.
But
No.
but see, when I say
When you
mental
have old
health
grandma
crisis,
that's
I'm
like,
not
go
talking
out there
about.
and pick your switch because I'm about to whoop your ass.
But see,
with
listen. I'm not talking about just
Wooden
the
spoon
deal
survivor.
with
Oh, shit.
mass shooters and whatnot. I'm talking about like in general, we have a mental health problem.
In general, yes, we have a mental health problem.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not talking about just these.
But that mental health problem stems from something else. It doesn't stem from just being mental health.
I mean, my parents whooped my ass.
Yeah.
But I'm saying I suffer from some pretty bad anxiety.
Some of that stuff is biological, though.
But see, that's what I'm saying, though. That's a mental health thing.
But it all boils down to personal accountability and taking care of yourself,
And you're-
making
and you're-
sure that
and you're-
you go get the help that you need.
Right.
And what are you doing?
And I did. I went and
You're
got help.
seeking help for that.
Right. Exactly.
Now, these
I
people
didn't go shoot up a school because of that.
These people, the only help they're seeking is help me feel good about myself.
Right.
Make me more like what I think I am.
It's your job to make you feel good about yourself.
You are responsible for you. Not anybody else.
And I always see memes about that. You are responsible for your happiness. Nobody else.
Exactly.
That's true.
Even in marriage, I think like your wife is responsible for her. I mean, granted, if you want to be a good husband, you should try to make your wife happy. But what I'm saying is like, ultimately, she is responsible for her happiness, and you're responsible for yours.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, if you're an adult who wants to go through hormone replacement therapy and all that shit,
That's your business.
That's your business. I don't give a shit. Don't do it to kids.
Right. Like I think if once you're 18, if the parents, if you're living at home and you're looking at your parents to pay for it, no, you're 18, bro. Do it yourself.
No, but that's the problem. These parents do not parent.
Right.
They just want their kids to feel good.
And you asked the question like, okay, well, what about the youth, right? Well, that still goes back on the parents, right?
It does.
Because as a parent, you're supposed to be involved with your kids.
Oh, yeah.
To the point where like, oh, well, they couldn't go and talk to their parents. Why? Why could they not go talk to their parents?
Because
when I was a kid, if there was anything going on, I could always go
Right.
talk to one of my parents,
Exactly.
and I knew that.
But that goes back to more of a parent problem.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Because these parents are not interested in being parents.
Exactly.
They're interested in being friends with their kids.
Oh,
And,
I know them people personally in my own life.
oh, yeah, we all do.
They're everywhere.
At the end of the day, you're the parent.
Yep.
Yep.
They're the kid.
It's not your job to be their friend.
It's not your job to make them.
You can have a good, friendly relationship with your kid, but at the end of the day, they need to know that you're not
Yeah.
their friend, you're their parent.
Exactly.
Right.
And it's like with Luke all the time. It's like, why did you do something that we just told you not to do? What part of that was a good idea? You know, we're trying to make him understand why we're upset,
Yep.
not just that we're upset.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like Friday, his dad had a meeting. It's his dad's week, but his dad had a meeting. I'm off work on Fridays. Bring him up, you know, whatever. So he's at the house and he keeps looking down the barrel of a Nerf gun, which, me being a firearms person, don't do that. I know it's just a Nerf gun, but don't do that.
Right.
Like, start building those habits
Right.
at an early age.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
Told him, I saw him look down the barrel of a Nerf gun. I said, don't do that. Do not look down the barrel of the Nerf gun. Not 2 minutes later, he did it again. And I was like, go put that up.
Yeah.
Go put it up. I just told you not to do it.
Yeah, I mean, you have
I
to have consequences to actions.
Literally just told you not to do it. And what did you do? Look down the barrel of a Nerf gun. What made that a good idea? Don't look down the barrel of a Nerf gun. That's not what I asked. I asked what made that a good idea. Like, trying to get him.
Don't just repeat what I told you. Like,
Right.
think for yourself.
And then a little while later, he had some little maze ring thing in his mouth and he broke it. And I looked at him and said, don't put stuff like that in your mouth. Don't. Just don't put stuff like that in your mouth. Because it's small, you could choke on it, right? It's broke now. Go throw it away. So he's going in there to throw it away, and I found a little piece of it, so I picked it up and I'm going in there. I'm following him. I see it drop out of his mouth into the trash can. Like, not even 30 seconds had passed, and I was just like, what did I just say? I just told you, don't put stuff like that in your mouth. And you threw it away with your mouth.
Kids, man.
Time out. 5 minutes. And he went to his room, time out for 5 minutes, and then that was the end of it. At the end of the day, parents have to parent.
Yeah, but also at the end of the day, that does sound like just some typical kid shit, though. Like
It
that
does.
And it is.
Yeah, it is.
It is, but that doesn't mean
But
that,
what I'm saying is, I don't think you have anything to worry about yet. I think that, like, you just him being a typical kid.
Right.
Right, but it's
right,
at
but trying
this
to
point-
reinforce those,
Right,
you've got to listen to your parents.
Right, exactly.
But it's at this
things.
point now, the age that he's at, that you have to do it.
Yeah.
Because once they get older, you can't just start.
Oh yeah, no,
if
I'm
you've never
in
done it.
I'm in complete agreement. I'm just saying, like, what I'm saying is like, you know, I'm not call it saying that. What I'm saying is that I don't think those are any signs that he's going to be like anything.
That's like,
Well, no, and I'm not
disturbing.
taking it as that. I'm just saying, like, we're trying to
I'm saying it
reinforce
for,
those. You
for
have
other
to
people
listen.
listening. I'm saying it for other people listening. Like,
Yeah, I mean, that's like Ida. She's not even 3 yet. And, like, she'll, like, pull toys out and stuff, and she'll throw them out everywhere. And I'm
Yeah.
like, Ida, we need to pick up your toys. And she's like, you pick them up. I'm like, no.
Absolutely not.
You're going to go pick them up.
That's like the twins
right now.
and Luke. We make them pick up their own toys.
Yeah, and I'll make her do it every night before bed. I don't care if you make a huge mess. If you're playing, like, within reason, if you're not throwing stuff, like, on
Right.
top of stuff. But within
Now-
reason, if you make a big, huge mess, cool, I'm all for it. If you're having fun, have fun.
Also within reason, like if it's like one or two things,
Yeah, I mean, if
I'm not
and
going
the
to throw
thing
a fit
is-
about
and the
that.
thing
Just
is-
go to bed.
And the
right?
thing is, like, I'll even go to the extent of, like, if she's giving me a hard time, I'm like, go pick this up. And if she goes and picks something up and starts cleaning up, I'll even come help her.
Right.
To reinforce the idea of, like, this is what we do. You know, it's not always, you know, yeah, and if you
just
said,
have to
like,
reinforce the idea that it's her duty.
Right.
Right.
She has to realize that what she does, she's responsible for.
Right. And you know, this all ties into what we're talking about with the mass shooter thing, right? I watched something the other day and it was talking about getting kids to do chores. right, to like clean up their room and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it was basically saying you tell them you don't tell them to do something and then go behind and fix what they messed up. Leave it.
Yep.
Leave it alone. Let it be messed up. If you ask them to pick up the living room and they picked everything up but one thing, don't pick that one thing up.
Yeah, because it's going to degrade them. It's going to make them feel like what they did was not good enough.
Correct. And that's exactly what it said.
Yeah.
And then it also went a little further and said if they ask to help you
always
do something, let them.
Yeah, because it shows initiative.
And it reinforces that these things have to be done.
Unless it's dangerous.
Well, yeah, obviously, you're not going to let your kid do something dangerous, but like typical household chores, like
Right.
picking up the trash or doing the dishes or loading the dishwasher, or whatever. If they ask to help you do stuff like that, let them.
Yes.
And if they don't do it the way that you want it done, don't go fix it behind them. Let it be messed up.
Yeah, or there's also
That's how they learn.
There's also an alternative to that. Show them how you want it done.
Right.
And then let them repeat it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
There's also that
Well,
alternative.
and I was listening to Shapiro, I think was it Shapiro the other day, talking about how, that's one reason we have such a high depression rate now. Because nobody feels like they are meant for anything. Like there's so many people that just feel like they're floating through life and it's just a big, they don't feel purpose.
Right. And that's part of the human experience is purpose. You need a purpose. You can't just exist.
And because we're all into this trying to be living a soft life, eventually everything will be given to you and you just collect a paycheck and robots will do all the work. And they said if that's the quickest way to society checking out on its own.
Yeah.
Because people will no longer have a purpose.
Yeah.
And people, like some people are like, oh no, I'll be so happy I won't have to work. Yeah, you'll be happy at first.
I think
you get bored. You won't have anything to do. I mean, and granted, you can pick up a hobby. You can do whatever you want.
But at the end of the day, what makes you want to live? Besides your kids and all that stuff. You want a purpose.
But that's the other thing. So many people are going away from even having kids. Like, I don't want kids. Okay, well, for a couple of people to be like, I don't want kids, that's normal. Right?
But it's like a big
But it's a
percentage
lot
of people.
of people. Like, we're not even at replacement rate
Yeah.
for childbirths in America right now. And that's a huge problem because guess who is? China.
Yeah. Yeah, like
India.
All they got to do is play
Probably
the waiting
Russia.
game. All they got to do is play the waiting game. Like, in another generation.
That's all they have to do anyway because we're destroying ourselves from within.
Well, yeah, and that's another. I was listening to Rogan, and he even had a liberal person on, and it was that guy I was telling you about.
Matt Schellenberger.
Yeah, and he was even talking about how this whole transgender thing is not healthy.
No, it's not healthy, and it's a social contagion.
Yes, and how there's a lot of people out here that don't actually think they're transgender. They're just kind of going along with it.
Yeah, because it gets them attention.
Right, exactly.
And it's the attention that you don't want.
Like, do you know the amount of people, like, just for instance, like, I'm sure back when y'all were younger,
Hold
I'm
on.
sure the same thing applied.
What up, Probst? Continue.
Probst. But I'm sure, like, back when y'all were younger, it was like there was always that there was a small group of edgy kids, like.
We were the edgy kids.
Yeah, we were the edgy kids.
That would, like, paint their fingers.
No, we weren't that edgy.
Well, I'm just saying, but there was
that
always,
actually came in the year group after us.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, there was always that group, right?
Yeah.
Because, like, my older brother, he's older than y'all.
Yeah.
Like, even around his time, there was that group of edgy, like, grunge type people. They would paint.
But dude, we took pride in not fitting in.
And look, and the thing is, those people were kind of like the outcasts, right? Everybody's like, these people are fucking weird. Now you look at popular, like, rappers and stuff. They're, like, painting all their fingernails and stuff, and it's like, it's the big thing.
Look
right?
at Machine Gun Kelly.
Right.
He dresses like a fucking bitch.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Like, this stuff is turning, but it's not in the right way.
No.
Right.
It's in the absolute wrong way.
It is normal for kids to grow up and feel that, like, and that angst.
You got so many hormones
Right.
and stuff flowing through you at that point. Like, it's normal to be kind of weird and different and
it
kind of
is.
awkward.
And
you're
it's,
trying to find yourself.
it's okay to be unapologetically yourself, but do it in a healthy way.
Right.
And pumping yourself full of hormones that you don't know the side effects long term.
Let yourself fully go through puberty first.
Like,
then
these-
reevaluate your decision.
This generation that's doing all this trans stuff, that's getting all this gender affirming health care, it's not health care. It's
And I'm not-
fucking experimental.
So, and the thing is, too, and I think a lot of it is, too, is like what you're saying, like go through puberty, wait, and reevaluate. But we don't live in a society that is.
No, we live in a
worth on-
society
it's
of
not-
instant gratification.
Right. It's not. There's nothing you wait on anymore. Everything's online. It's instant.
I tell you what I wait on. I wait on this show every week.
But that's another thing.
But we were built for this.
That's another thing they were talking about on Rogan was all through history, when societies or civilizations were at the brink of collapse.
This is the stuff
This
that was
is the
happening.
stuff that was happening. People were obsessed with sexuality, pleasure, instant gratification,
Gender confusion,
because there was
all that
nothing.
stuff.
They were not being challenged by anything.
No,
like like Rome. This is when they were having the orgies and they had all the food they could want. That nobody challenged them because they were the biggest, empire in the world. They had no worries.
They really didn't.
Yeah.
And that's the problem.
Well, it goes back to the saying, hard times create strong men, and
Strong men create good times create weak men create bad times.
Yep.
Hard times, whatever you want to say.
It just keeps going. It keeps cycling.
It's a cycle.
It's a cycle, and we're in the bad times right now.
But I feel like the cycle is rounding and it's coming down. It's rounding.
It is,
and it's,
because we're about
slowly
to be
getting worse
faced
and
with
worse
a
and worse.
global war again.
Right. It's slowly getting worse and worse. Like the cycle rounds and it gets worse.
Yeah, as much as I hate to say it, a global war right now would be the.
We absolutely do not need it.
We don't need it.
We don't. Well,
but it would be-
society needs it.
It would be beneficial.
Oh, in that case, yes.
I'm not saying it's needed. I'm not saying it's like I want it, but I'm saying for the sake of the country,
We need
would
something to
be
make us a little
beneficial.
uncomfortable.
Because, like we were talking about, when the invasion of Iraq happened, what happened? The country united. People were together. People had patriotism.
Well, that was 9/11, but the same.
I mean, it was
span of 10 years.
It was right there, because like I remember like family members joining the military around that time.
But I would
getting
argue-
shipped off to Iraq, and they're like, "Man, he's going off to Iraq," and they're like,
I would
"We're gonna
argue
do us
though
proud,"
that the invasion of Iraq actually started splitting us. 9/11 brought us together, but when we invaded,
I think it was
it
after
started
we were.
splitting.
I think it was the aftermath of the 2008 presidential election more than anything. I think that Barack Obama was probably the most divisive president ever. He was far more divisive than Donald Trump,
noticed-
far
I
more
think
divisive
so.
than Joe Biden.
I noticed a lot more racial tensions, a lot more tensions with these.
And it wasn't even in his first term. His first term, everything was kind of okay.
No, it was on his term where he knew he was going to be out.
It was the second term. The second term fucked this
the
country.
first term was actually not that bad. The
It
first
really
term,
wasn't.
he
It
actually
wasn't
had-
near as bad as I thought it was going to be.
He actually got like a few things like actually good done.
Yeah.
And productive, and like overall was not that bad. But his second term, it was more like social type oriented things that he was going after, which made no sense as a president.
No, it didn't.
It
So
was like the climate change and all that stuff.
anyway, let's get this piece of shit's face off the screen because I don't like it. And quite frankly, you're still on screen share, Lonnie. Oh no, you changed it. Never mind. My bad. My
Come
bad,
on,
dog.
man, let me work my buttons, okay?
Okay, so go up to the video
We still have
above
a lot
that,
to go
though.
over.
What now? Sorry.
The video above the article.
Right here.
Down one. That one.
We still have a lot to go over.
It's going to put Fat Boy's face back on there, but I don't care.
With a former student.
It's 2 minutes, and then we'll be done with this, and then we can move on.
Colorado Springs schools when it was stopped. The former Academy District 20 student is in jail, charged with attempted murder. Elbert County deputies discovered 19-year-old William Whitworth's manifesto with hit list and specific plans to print out guns to carry out those attacks. Court records reveal the 3 schools the student was targeting are Prairie Hills Elementary, Timberview Middle School, and Pine Creek High School. KRDO News Channel 13's Annabelle Childers is live at Timberview, where the suspect once
Why
attended
schools?
the school. Annabelle.
because these are social contagions as well.
It has been a whirlwind of a day for District 20. This morning, district leaders got the call that a former student was being charged with attempted murder for planning those 3 attacks against schools within the district. And in the next hour, those leaders were reading details on why it was happening.
You have that first probably 10, 15 seconds of you feel it through your whole body. There's fear, there's anxiety.
For District 20, it's hard to put words to how shocked they were today, learning that a former student, William Whitworth, who identifies as Lily, was allegedly planning to attack 3 of their campuses.
Every now and then we'll get maybe a social media threat will come in and we can quickly identify that it's not credible.
But today, threats to shoot Timberview Middle, Prairie Hills Elementary, and Pine Creek High are documented in arrest records. The Board docs show that Whitworth's sister called Elbert County deputies on Friday. She told them that Whitworth was threatening to shoot up a school. When deputies went to Whitworth's home, they found
Good for you,
diagrams,
sister.
layouts, plans to create explosive
Yep.
devices, and a list of firearms and instructions on how to 3D print them. They also found a manifesto where Whitworth wrote down a list of ways they wanted to die and names of other mass killers. When the 18th Judicial District Attorney's Office filed formal charges today, D20 was contacted by the Elbert County Sheriff's Office.
When this happened, they were going through this and they immediately reached out to our security department.
D20 is grateful that the plans were reported before they became a reality.
Thanking the individuals who heard something, saw something, and said something. Because today or next week could be incredibly different if that individual did not take the courage and have the fortitude to speak up and do the right thing.
So, well done. These are the things that need to be happening, right? People who are close to these people need to be reporting them to the authorities because something is clearly up, and the authorities need to be acting on these things.
Yeah.
Not just, going and seeing what's up. They need to actually
the thing is, there's been so many instances of where this has went wrong that even as a precaution,
I'll be right back.
look into it. Take every instance serious, right?
Right.
Don't hesitate. Don't cut any corners. Treat it like it's the real deal, even if it comes to light that it isn't.
Correct. Okay, so we're going to take like a 2-minute break. So, Lonnie, if you'll put it on the background for a second, we're going to take like a couple minutes. I need to blow my nose. Joe just had to get up. It's a good point to stop. Is there not a background button? And we're back. Okay. Thanks for sticking with us if you did. If not, well, then you suck.
Everybody left.
What are you looking for there?
Everybody left.
Yeah, everybody left. It's fine. It's totally fine. What button were you looking for there, Lonnie?
I don't know. I was just looking for something. None of them made sense. I was hoping we had one that was like dumb, but we don't.
No, we don't.
Do you realize where we are in the show notes?
Yes.
We are still here.
Yeah, but we've already covered this one.
But still, we got to go all the way.
Yeah, we don't have a Conspiracy Corner or this. Well, I mean, we got to do a little bit of this week on Twitter, but we don't have to do the whole thing. There's really just one that I really want to.
We don't have to do all the We Hate Her, do we?
No, we can skip some of them.
We have to do the Deuce Strikes again, though.
We have to do the Deuce Trifecta. All three of those.
Okay. We need to move it then.
The other ones are pretty short, though.
So what are we on to now?
We're on to, you remember that balloon? Big ass fucking Chinese spy balloon that...
Fang Fang's Valentine's Day present?
The one we took down with a $200,000 Sidewinder missile?
Was it that one?
Yeah, that one, I think.
I'm still confused by that. Like,
Wait.
why did we not just, use a couple of, da-da-da-da, and just, bust a balloon?
There was like 3 of them total, right?
No, actually, the other ones were like Party City balloons. Yeah. That just got free. Stupid, the Biden administration, please.
Stupid.
Thank you. Now.
I don't know. There was that one in Montana they said that was screwing with towers and stuff.
That was the Chinese spy balloon.
That's the one that was shot down over South Carolina.
Over the ocean by South Carolina.
By Myrtle Beach.
Yeah. So anyway, let's go to this first video
because I haven't heard anything about this.
I've heard some interesting things about this.
Let's bring in former.
Get back to it. Get hot and heavy. We got about 30 minutes to get through all this shit.
Secretary Mark Esper, he's the author of a Sacred Oath Memoirs of a Secretary of Defense during extraordinary times, which we seem to continue.
This guy's face looks like one of the Easter
Wait a second.
So the president said on 60 Minutes, we're going to commit American men and women.
Skip forward some.
Soldiers playing, but then he's come from the school. So what?
Keep going.
My view is if they decide to walk a strategic regard to our rules,
to sheath the
going to be second. More.
This is not the video that I put in there.
The Chinese action, cannot let them
Oh wait, no. It is. It's just further in.
and not respond. There has to be some type of response. It's what the Chinese respect and
our ideals, and we need to make sure that she knows that we
be expedited,
accelerate and prioritize those things. And look, with regard to what the congressman said, I think he's.
I will also provide several amendments in this year's National Defense Authorization Act to improve our homeland and missile
This is not-
protocols and capabilities.
There it is. It's down here.
It really raises the question.
Oh, there it is. Okay, yeah.
What it was doing.
Go back some.
Allowed this balloon to linger so long, and if they weren't, why did they allow this balloon to linger so long over U.S. territory, knowing what it was doing?
You know, John, I think I spoke with you about this when it happened a few weeks ago, and I said at the time that I thought it was a mistake for the White House to assert that the Chinese got no intelligence or no useful intelligence. And my view was we simply don't know until we get the equipment and we do the forensics and find out what they were looking for and why. And so I'm not surprised, and I think we're going to learn more about what the Chinese may have learned. And then it all begs the bigger question that you raised and Senator Wicker raised, and that is, why didn't we shoot it down when we first heard or it was first detected in the Aleutians? And apparently what Senator Wicker has said that the NORAD commander actually had to wait a few days before he could offer options. So I think there's more that is going on there. I hope that Congress will pull the thread and find out what happened and why. Was it simple bureaucratic incompetence on our side, or was the White House trying to make it a policy decision not to do anything that might disrupt Anthony Blinken's meeting with the Chinese in Beijing?
The former Secretary of Defense, Mark Esper, sir, thank you for being with
Okay.
us. We appreciate
Go
it.
back go back to the show notes. Because I put a new link in there, the NBC News. Up one. Up. Right there. So, go ahead and scroll down a little bit. So the Chinese spy balloon that flew across the U.S. was able to gather intelligence from several sensitive American military sites, despite the Biden administration's efforts to block it from doing so, according to 2 current U.S. or senior U.S. officials and 1 former senior administration official. China was able to control the balloon so it could make multiple passes over some of the sites in a figure 8 formation. And transmit the information it collected back to Beijing in real time, the 3 officials said. The intelligence China collected was mostly from electronic signals, which can be picked up from weapon systems or include communications from base personnel rather than images. They knew what this thing was getting and sending to Beijing in real time, and they let it fly over the fucking United States.
So here's something also crazy. Have you ever seen, I forget the name of the podcast, but it has, are you familiar with Eli Double Tap? Black Rifle Coffee?
No.
Okay, so Eli Double Tap is one of the, I don't know what his position is, but he's one of the, like, higher ups at Black Rifle Coffee.
Right.
Along with the founder and everything. So they do a podcast, and they actually had a guy on there. You may have seen him on like YouTube Shorts or something or elsewhere. The Fat Electrician.
Oh yeah.
So they had him on there. Former military, all of them that they're on there, I think,
right.
Except one of them, and he may be, but I'm not for sure. All
right.
Former military. You know, Eli Double Tap was special
forces. The other guy does a guns channel on YouTube. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, so they do a podcast or whatever.
Yeah, and is this the conspiracy theory one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because they were talking about like.
Let's just pull that up.
Okay, I don't know how to look it up because I don't.
Just go to. Do you want to hear my conspiracy theory? Actually, I may have it.
Fee Roy.
Go to shorts. Over on the side.
So, what's this stuff called again?
Yeah, just, you gotta click search again.
Somebody tell me
So, maybe not. Go down. Let me see if I can find it. I know Kate sent it to me.
If I could remember what the podcast was called.
Just type in Black Rifle Coffee.
It's not a Black Rifle. Unsubscribe podcast.
Okay, yeah.
This is it, right here. This is the podcast. This is the episode.
You want my conspiracy theory now? Yes! Okay, fine.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna send it over to,
Discord.
Yeah. If I can fucking... It's a TikTok video that she sent me.
It may not work.
No, it will.
Just let me know what you put it in.
It's going in the links. There you go.
You want my conspiracy theory now?
Yes!
Yeah. Okay, fine.
All right.
Most people don't know this, but Japan actually invaded America during World War II. It was the Aleutian Island campaigns in Alaska. No, they launched a balloon that made it to Oregon. Actual Japanese troops set foot on American land in World War II.
Yeah.
And it was called the Aleutian Island Campaign. Marines and Canadian soldiers beat them back. That was the end of it.
We talked about this on a private podcast.
Yeah, we did. But the campaign was already plotted out. They were going to fight through Alaska, down through Canada, attack the West Coast. They were also going to take over Panama, cut off the East and West Coast, fight up through Latin America and Mexico, and then take over Central America.
I love how fighting through like 1,000 miles of Canada was not even a concern for them.
Oh, the balloon went completely unnoticed the whole way through. It's fine.
No, I just...
They have like bolt action 22s, and they're worried about grizzly bears still. What they're gonna
Bears. I mean, fair enough.
Bears are big.
Anyway,
especially Canadian bears.
So the Aleutian Island campaigns is a thing, and if you look at the trajectory of the Aleutian Island campaigns, the balloons followed the exact trails that the Japanese wanted to follow in World War II.
Yep.
So I think they wanted to, because every military tactician ever agrees that that's the only way that you could ever successfully invade America, was using that strategy.
Through Canada?
Through Canada and Panama at the same time. And I guarantee you they sent those balloons at the same time on purpose because they wanted to know how soon they were spotted by the government and how soon they were shot down. And I think that that's why they intentionally didn't say shit about it until civilians in Montana were talking about it. Because that's who reported it first, civilians with cell phones in Montana.
Really?
Yep.
I didn't actually
And
know the first.
the entire time, so it actually came out today that the balloon had explosives on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it was like enough to self-detonate, so why didn't it self-detonate? And it also came out because the United States had a U-2 Dragon spy plane above it the entire time, and it had the new KC-130 rivet joint, which is a 30 military personnel electronic warfare plane.
Oh.
So it was jamming and or reading every electronic signal that came in and out of that balloon the entire time.
That's why
That's why it cock-blocked it from self-detonate.
And I know this is one of those things that we...
Cock-blocked.
So it's like
I didn't know that.
No,
either.
it's
I
like
didn't
a
know that
warlock.
either.
So we have the warlock system for strikers or anything. That is how
I was going to say,
ID
please don't make this a D&D thing. Jesus Christ.
So talking about real, like, people who get laid shit right now, okay?
So
we'll go to D&D
Hey,
later.
whoa. Whoa.
So the warlock. Oh man, that's how it works. Okay. Because strikers have warlock systems, which are the antennas on the back of a striker, where it interrupts any cell phone. But that's why they just did hardwired. 12 volts.
Well, that's why I'm wondering, though, like, you brought up a good point, like, with the satellite things. Like, what the fuck were they trying to get that they couldn't otherwise get?
They wanted to know what America's countermeasures were to that.
Reaction
They wanted
time,
us
too.
to see our reaction times. Like, what's your hand? Do you want
So basically, China is somewhat...
They're testing the waters.
Yep, they're testing the waters for an invasion.
Yep.
Red Dawn, baby. That's what it was.
Unfortunately, it'll never work.
Especially if you go through Montana. Then people have you taken out in a second. Then people do not give a shit.
No.
But essentially, that goes back to what I was saying. He was talking about the U2 Red Dragon.
Right.
With the electronic system on it.
To jam the signal.
Basically, they were seeing everything that was being transmitted from the balloon and to its destination and back and forth. They saw it as soon as it came into American territory. They knew already.
Oh, yeah.
So we were talking about this, and you were saying, "Oh, I don't think they saw it back when it was happening." I don't think they saw it. They didn't see it until it got into the United States. No,
they
knew.
intentionally didn't let you know that they saw it.
America knew before it even came into Canada. I promise you.
Well, they watched it be launched from China.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
They've come out and said that they knew it was being launched, and they saw it take the sudden turn.
Yeah, so they knew all along. The United States has known everything. They know everything that was transmitted through the balloon.
It just makes Joe Biden look even weaker than he already did.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, that's what it does, and that's what China was hoping to get, and that's what they got.
Good thing the United States military doesn't really need Joe Biden to carry out things sometimes.
No, but the American military is not prepared for a shoot war with China. Like, they're not.
Because, see, the whole reason they were scared to shoot it down was because they're like, oh, what if it hits a civilian?
I mean, that's still a valid reason.
But
yeah, the only problem is that knowing what they knew and knowing the population density of Montana,
But also, you had to throw into the extra thing of it was rigged with explosives.
only enough to blow itself
But
up.
see, we
now,
can, we
to
can,
Joe's point, it could have been carrying a tactical nuke.
Could
right?
have, but it wasn't.
But it wasn't.
And they knew that. So it makes it. I don't know. I think
but see,
waiting.
if we can do the mathematics to put us on the moon, I think we can do the mathematics
In the fucking 60s.
Yeah, I think we can do the mathematics. Like, hey, if we shoot it here, this is where it's going to land. You know what I mean?
So here's my thing. I think that they still made a good call as far as waiting until it was not over anywhere that could potentially be populated, because they were blocking the signal at that point.
They weren't, though.
That's what he just said.
They weren't. They were blocking the signal to detonate. They were monitoring the communication between it and China.
Yeah, they were allowing it to communicate with China.
Yeah, I think that's a horrible idea.
Yeah.
They should have blocked it. 'Cause
They
I know
they attempted to block it. They couldn't.
I feel like they could have.
They probably could have if they had actually tried to.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I
But
feel
that's
like
the
they
thing.
could've-
Joe Biden doesn't care because Joe Biden is in China's pocket.
Right.
Yeah, but before all that, I don't even think they should have let it enter the airspace.
No, hell no. I think
it should have
as
never
soon as
gotten
it got-
to
Especially
Alaska
especially if they were monitoring it
from
for
launch.
for so long. You know what I mean?
Correct.
If they saw it take a turn and potentially, I mean, look at fucking Russia. We're out in the Baltic Sea in international airspace, and they're like, "Hey,
That's something that we haven't got to talk about because of the fact that it happened while we were
Oh
on
yeah,
vacation.
the dang drone.
The drone that got downed in the Baltic Sea by a Russian fighter pilot dumping fuel on it.
Which could, no joke, be considered an act of war.
Yes. So
Like that could have kicked off World War III like that if we were more hot headed.
yeah," but I mean, it was an
It's-
unmanned drone. I mean,
it's yeah.
I'm saying if we would have done that to them,
but that's not the first time that's happened either. This happened back also in like 2019 with a C-130.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Explain.
The same exact thing, flying a normal mission over international waters in a C-130, the United States military, doing a normal reconnaissance mission, just training, and a Russian fighter jet flew right over the nose of the C-130.
Dangerously.
Dangerously close, like almost the tail fins almost clipped the nose of the C-130.
Oh shit!
And here's the funny thing: they were being escorted by two F-22 Raptors at the time when they were going. The Raptors had cut off to fly a different route, and we're going to merge up at so basically they were going like this. The Raptors went this way, and we're going to meet them again. In that short period of time where the Raptors took off and veered off course, the Russian fighter jet.
So they'd been watching them.
Yeah. Well, I think
they were actively escorting them.
The F-22s were escorting the C-130.
But I'm saying the Russians were watching that.
I don't know if they were necessarily watching them or they just came at the right
I think some of the Russian fighter pilots are just fucking dickheads.
Yeah, I think they came at a just coincidental time because trust me, you're not sneaking up on F-22s.
Oh no!
They're going to see you and you're not going to see them. You know how many times they've been?
No, I'm saying like Russia could have been watching them without the F-22s. Like they have satellites. I mean,
well, yeah, but they were going to see three blips, right? They probably saw. They're not even going to see the Raptors.
Yeah.
No.
They're not going to see Raptors. Their cross section is like a housefly.
Yeah.
You're not going to see them. They just saw the C-130 and they probably came up and it was just a proper timing. Because if the F-22s hung back like 20 miles and they came up, and if they didn't come up like from the same direction, they would have never saw them.
Okay, so anyway, the Chinese spy balloon thing. At first, yeah, I agreed that it was good to wait until it was over water, shoot it down.
If everything had played out the way that they laid it out as.
Now
initially.
I'm not so sure.
Yeah, they
about
should have
it.
shut the shit down.
They should have
before
shut it
they came
down
into the country.
So anyway, all right, let's move along. We're running out of time. Go on to the Tennessee representatives being expelled from the House. We're just going to watch this video and give brief comments.
The world is watching Tennessee because what is happening here today is a farce of democracy.
One of the two black Democrats now banned from returning to this very chamber. What started out as a call for gun control has now become a row about race and the.
Oh yeah, hey, pause it real quick. I'm just gonna say something real quick.
Because Republican.
It's funny how this was not considered an armed insurrection, by the way.
No, it's because it was a protest that they liked.
Exactly. Okay, continue.
Felt this protest a week ago.
To be fair though, they didn't break anything and they weren't violent. So
It's January 6th, but anyways.
well, I mean, they
January
broke
6th,
a lot of shit on January 6th. Oh yeah, speaking of January 6th, they released the QAnon shaman from prison.
Did you even hit that one?
Give it a yeehaw. The man,
You ready for
the
mine?
myth, the legend, the QAnon shaman. Wow, my ears are ringing from that. We need to
Something rang
record
from
that, and that needs to replace the yeehaw. That was good, top tier. Anyway, continue.
It was. Hold on, that was after. This is also something we probably don't have time to cover tonight. But after, well, no, we did. The release of the videos.
That's what I told Justin.
Showing that he really didn't even do anything. Then they released him.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, that's what I told Justin on the. That's what I told Justin on the way up here. I was like, "Oh, Tucker Carlson gave QAnon shaman a reach around."
Yup.
Justin
wait.
Jones used a megaphone to call for gun
That
laws
guy
to be tightened.
is a sitting
His
representative,
Democrat
and he looks like he's
colleagues
got a bullhorn
Justin Pearson and Gloria
protesting.
Johnson by his side, the trio now known as the Tennessee Three. The call for action followed the Covenant School shooting in the state capital, Nashville, just days earlier. 6 people were killed, including 3 children. School children were amongst the thousands that came to support the 3 Democrats at Tennessee's House of Representatives, not for a debate about gun control this time, but a vote on punishing the rule breakers. One Republican after another attacked the 3 Democrats.
We all saw the video of what he did. He and 2 other representatives effectively conducted a mutiny on March the 30th of 2023 in this very
He's
chamber.
talking about the representatives.
What he was essentially saying was that Justin is an uppity Negro.
No, he was saying you were breaking the
How
rules.
dare he point at the speaker and call a lie a lie? How dare he act like he's your equal? How dare he come before this body and not bow down?
Well, because
That's why you're
it's
standing
against
there.
the rules.
Because of that temper tantrum that day. For that yearning to have attention. That's what you wanted. Well, you're getting it now.
How many of you would want to be spoken to that way? The reason that I believe the sponsor of
he's
this
from Memphis.
legislation, this resolution, spoke that way is because he's comfortable doing it. Because there's a decorum that allows it.
Oh yeah, look at me.
There's a decorum that allows you to belittle people. We didn't belittle nobody.
We are voting on the House resolutions.
But the Republican-controlled chamber voted
not about-
overwhelmingly to expel
It's
Justin
not about
Jones
what you
and then
did when
Justin
you were doing
Pearson.
it. It's about what you did.
26 nays.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
But when it came to a white woman, Gloria Johnson, they allowed her to stay.
We called for you all to ban assault weapons, and you respond with an assault on democracy.
And the personal nature of the assault on her 2 colleagues left Gloria Johnson in tears.
And I'm so sorry that you were asked those racist questions. It's got to stop.
Justin, glorious! Justin, glorious!
And for those who came to support tighter gun control, there was anger and frustration.
We demand action. We are tired of being scared. Little kids should not be scared when they're in school, and that is why I'm here.
And that is what meth does to you.
Banning democratically elected representatives from state government is highly unusual. President Biden expressed his concerns, saying it was shocking, undemocratic, and without precedent. In the last hour, the Vice President, Kamala Harris, has announced she'll travel to Nashville later today to speak to the 2 expelled Democrats.
To be booed by Tennessee.
despite being thrown out, they say they'll be back at the House of Representatives on Monday. They won't be alone. Thousands from Tennessee and beyond are expected to join them.
So, here's the thing, right? The House rules exist for a reason.
Yeah, I didn't really see her. I didn't see her,
No. She was out there with them.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, here's the thing.
Kick her ass out, too.
A protest is effectively a disruption of House business, right? The members of the House of Representatives are not permitted to obstruct the business of the House. That is a violation of the House rules.
Which would then, therefore, not be protected under your right to protest, right?
Correct.
Correct.
You are members of the House of Representatives in Tennessee.
You make your argument in the House. You don't
get to protest against the House while being a member of the House.
And that's something you accept as being an elected official.
Right.
Should they have voted out the white girl?
So be it.
Absolutely. They should have, because she also broke the rules. Here's the thing. The vote to expel her failed by one vote.
One vote.
One vote.
Damn.
Racism. Do you know how much they had to have to expel the other two?
How many?
2/3 at minimum. So 2/3, almost 2/3 voted to expel the white woman. Tell me how that's racism?
One vote. You're talking one person.
You're talking about one fucking person.
For all we know, they had to go take a piss break.
Like,
I'm just kidding. I know they
one
wait
fucking
for that
person,
tally.
but yeah, it's all about the color of the skin, right? It's all because they were black boys, because they was an uppity Negro.
I mean, as you can see, they made it about race to begin with.
Look, I'm just saying this. Both of those guys, I won't even classify them as black.
Hold on. Go back to YouTube and pull up the speech that one of them gave, the one with the big hair. Just Tennessee Representative's speech.
Dang, that girl's hot. She's talking about shit being 32 billion times heavier than the sun. She's smart, too.
Yeah, that one. The top one.
Yeah, but that's...
It gives part of his speech.
We're voting on House Resolution
Skip forward a little
63. All
bit.
those in favor, vote aye when the bell rings. Those
Skip forward.
Now, on whether or not...
Keep going.
vote on the Constitution table.
Keep going.
There, 66 vote joining Justin Jones.
That might not be it.
65 as Gloria
I think this
Johnson
is just when they
referenced herself,
voted to
perhaps
expel.
That House
Yeah.
voting go.
I thought there was a part where he made his speech here. Nah, go back.
Last week, 7 days ago, they walked out of turn. And not only
Go down. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
Why does he mirror his
Wait,
look
which-
after Karl Marx?
Hold on, which one was it?
Well, here's this one.
Yeah, that's not the one.
Right here.
That one, yeah. Yeah.
Be the glory for the things that God has done and the things that God's still doing.
Why is he talking like a preacher?
It is indeed a sad day for us in the state of Tennessee.
That's the way Democrats do,
with
man.
the loss of Representative Justin Jones from this body. It is a victory of this movement that still says it matters to end gun violence in the state of Tennessee. This movement.
Okay, so you're now listening
Okay,
as the
first
House
off-
debates on expelling.
Why is this?
You're not Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Don't try to fucking talk like that.
That's what I was about to say, because when I said it sounds like a preacher.
I don't think he's trying to do that.
No, he absolutely is.
No.
Absolutely,
He does not
100%.
speak that way.
Look at him and go Google Karl Marx.
He looks like Malcolm X a little bit.
Malcolm X. That's what I'm thinking. Malcolm X, not Karl Marx.
Minus the big fro.
No, Malcolm X had a big fro at
Not
one point.
that big.
I think at one point he did.
I don't remember him ever having anything like that.
He had a little poof, but it wasn't like that.
Okay, no, he didn't.
No, he never had hair like that.
He had like a baby poof.
In the new movie, I think they make no, even in the movie they don't have him like.
No, he's not dressed like him either. Malcolm X actually wore a suit that looked normal.
No, this is 100%. He's trying to, like Justin said, he's trying to mimic
Martin Luther King Jr.
If you listen to him, how he talks, I have a dream.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of breathy ends on your sentences and stuff.
Yeah. Speaking of Malcolm X, I've been meaning to watch that movie. It's on one of the streaming services.
I'm just going to keep letting this play.
Anyway, no, we're done. I don't need him to. I just wanted you to hear how he talked in that, and then go back.
Vote happening.
No. Go back to YouTube. We're gonna run a little long. Justin Pearson. No, Pearson.
Oh, Pearson. I thought you said
yeah,
Justin
it actually.
Pearson. How dare you?
Yeah, Justin Pearson.
Think this one?
Go on down. Yeah, this is a first.
Representative Gloria Johnson and her attorneys, who they too are seeking to expel right before
Not talking like
I
that.
speak and before they work to expel me, which I expect to happen too. We are losing our democracy. This is not normal. This is not okay. If you look at what it takes to expel a member, what it should take, most of the times that a member in the Tennessee State Legislature has gotten expelled in the last two times in particular. One, the guy committed sexual assault against 22 people. The other committed bribery. We broke a house.
You broke a house rule, yeah.
You broke a house rule that impeded on.
Hold on, I just want to see what he says here.
House rule because we're fighting for kids who are dying from gun violence.
Yeah, look. Regardless of what you were trying to do, the sentiment might be, good.
You are a professional.
But the thing is,
you're supposed to be a professional.
You don't have the right to protest because you're an elected official in the House.
But at the end of the day,
you make your arguments in the House.
Well, no. Okay, so he's allowed to protest,
Just not
during House proceedings.
That's what I'm saying.
But here's the thing: at the end of the day, regardless of the rules, he's considered a professional. He should handle these things professionally.
Look, if he wants to
not in a knee-jerk reaction like everybody else.
Organize a march down the city streets.
That's fine.
So be it. But
you can't interfere
do it in the House.
You can't interfere in the House business during a session. That is against the House rules, and that is grounds to be expelled. Again, the white woman the vote only failed by one vote.
And honestly, I don't think it should have.
It shouldn't have. They should have all been expelled. All three of them. Because you interfered in the House conducting its business. I would expect anybody in the federal government to be done the same way.
Right.
I would expect any Republicans to have the same treatment.
Yeah, I mean,
if you're gonna expel one for breaking House rules, expel them all.
If you're all doing it, hey, it's just like
it also violates the ethics rules in the Tennessee House because it makes it impossible for them to be an unbiased elected official.
Right.
So anyway, now we're just going to touch on the COVID nonsense real quick. Apparently, there's a new study that says that fetuses can get COVID from the mother while still in utero. There've been a couple of babies who were born and subsequently died because of that. So that's something that I think we should keep an eye on. And we don't have to watch the video, just touching it real quick. And that's really the only thing. Now, as far as We Hate Her goes, We've already done one because Sky News took it, so the top one's done. I really want to focus on the second one.
The last presidential campaign, one of the Democratic contenders said that what he would do is come for AR-15s. Does the president support not just banning the sale and manufacture of semi-automatic weapons, but further than that, confiscation?
Let me just be very clear. What we're talking about, AR-15s, these assault weapons ban, they are weapons of war, and they should not be on the streets across the country, in our communities. They should not be in schools. They should not be in grocery stores. They should not be in churches. That's what the president believes.
The last presidential campaign, one of the Democratic contenders said.
So, the big takeaway there is that come and take them, please. Quite frankly, we're all tickled to hear that you're not ruling out confiscation.
Yeah, come knock on somebody's door.
Are you going to
confiscate their rifles?
Are you going to be
not going to go well?
Are you going to breach the door?
Anyway, so there's the first. We hate her. Go to the next one.
This one?
Yes. This is terribly insensitive because this happened shortly after the trans person shot up a school.
LGBTQI plus kids are resilient. They are fierce. They fight back. They're not going anywhere. And we have their back. This administration has their back. We are so proud of the kids across this country who have organized protest and school walkouts to tell the politicians in their states to stop this legislative bullying. LGBT.
I'm sorry. First off, fighting back doesn't sound good.
No.
Second off, fuck them kids. Third off, this administration shouldn't have anybody's back except for the American people's. Thank you. Next one.
I wouldn't necessarily say F them kids, but...
No, fuck them kids.
I'm saying they matter too. They're kids.
Listen. The DOOCE is back. Baby.
Ah, son of a bitch.
I hate that shit.
I'm so excited about the DOOCE. Yeah!
All right, let's go.
Oh, shit.
China spycraft. Why did President Biden say about the China spycraft in February, we were able to protect sensitive sites against collection if that's not true?
I'm not going to go into dive into any reporting. That's not something I'm going to do. I'm not going to confirm any reporting. Look, we knew the flight.
Not reporting. The DNI said today that the U.S. does not appear to have provided critical new insights to the People's Republic of China. So is it they didn't provide any new critical insights, or they didn't get anything?
I would refer you to the ODNI if you have specific questions on their reporting. What I can tell you from here, and what we have said many times, is that we knew the flight path of the balloon before it crossed the United States. We took precautions in advance to ensure that it didn't get sensitive information. And when it comes to technology like this balloon, it has limited additive value compared to other means of intelligent collection, and we have said that. And the bottom line is, this is the administration that identified the problem and took action.
No. Give it another liar. And go to the next one.
Are these? Do you feel like these are
Also, fuck you, Jon Stewart.
And Jon Stewart sucks.
He's a big old.
What happened to him being funny, and then all of a sudden he's like, "I'm going to talk about serious shit." Like, piss off.
Thank you very much, Karine. Not asking about Trump, but about the precedent that this opens. Does the White House believe that a former president could or should be indicted?
I'm just not going to comment from here. Okay. Oh, go ahead.
To follow up on that, President Biden is a lawyer. Is he?
Hold on. I just want to respect the fact that she calls on Peter Ducey to fuck her day up.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know why she does it.
She must.
She
like
knows what's going to
self-pay.
happen.
She must like self-pay.
You know, it must not.
be a kink.
You know what? I don't think that it's just that we hate her. I think she hates her.
And then she's like, I can get my daily dose of the deuce. Just get it in there.
I mean, and we got
Everybody
a
else-
trifecta tonight.
Everybody else just lets it go.
And these are all from this week. I think the Deuce has been on vacation.
Well, he's been kind of silent for a while.
Yeah.
But boy, did he make
The
his
trifecta, man.
presence ever known.
The trifecta.
Yeah.
And the President of the United States and the Commander-in-Chief. But go ahead.
He is, but as a lawyer, is he concerned at all that a local DA indicting a former president could, down the line, open up the possibility, set the precedent, that local DAs that don't like former President Biden could indict him?
I'm not going to comment from here.
Why don't you have more to say about the Trump indictment?
It is an ongoing case, and I've been very clear about that. We've been prudent about that, not commenting on ongoing cases, and we're going to stick to that.
But for
Peter?
better or worse, all that anybody in the country is talking about at this exact moment while we're in here.
Look at everybody
is
smiling when
Trump.
he's talking.
And
They're
they
like,
look
we're so
here
proud of you.
Look at that
to
girl
find out
beside him. Like,
what the White House
you getting
thinks about
fucked
it.
up, bitch.
Like, yeah, Kareem, what you gotta say?
Look,
Yeah.
she's trying to hold back her smile. She's trying to smile so hard.
You can see it in her
That
eyeballs.
when there is an ongoing case like this one, that we're just not commenting.
And so, does the lack of comment mean that you do not think anything happening in New York today?
Wait. I figured it all out. I think I know what's going to happen. So, remember, America Sack left to go to MSNBC?
That's what she's getting ready to do.
But what if she goes
To Fox News.
Fox News?
Whoa. Joe's Conspiracy Corner has become Lonnie's Conspiracy Corner. Joe,
That's
you've
why
been
she
replaced.
Did you see? No. Think about it. When she first did this, hold on. Well, let me back this up. I know we're trying to like hurry up and skip through this, but like, watch her face when she says, "Peter." Watch her face.
Does the White House believe that a former
Look at
president
Peter, like-
would
I know exactly what he's talking about.
be indicted?
Watch this. It was almost like pure joy.
Okay. All right. Oh, go ahead, Peter.
Oh, yeah, Peter.
Peter.
She looked in the back. She knows Peter's sitting right there. He sits in the same spot every time. She goes,
Oh, Peter. Oh, Peter.
she loves herself some Peter, which is very ironic.
She loves the
Because
deuce.
she doesn't like Peter.
Deb-
But you look at that face. That's genuine.
Black, it's Black Debbie and Daddy
Black-
Deuce. Oh, Black Debbie and Daddy Deucey.
Hey, you know what?
I think I'm onto something.
Hold on. The Deuce is getting the Deuce. Anyway, go back to the spot that we were in. I think that's
God damn it,
close
Peter!
enough.
You ain't getting
It's right here.
you ain't getting the V later.
No, he's getting a
Talking
2 for
about
1.
At this exact moment while we were in here is Trump. And they look here to find out what the White House thinks about it.
That girl beside him is just like, yeah.
She's looking at that. She's like, "Fuck! I should really jot this down."
That when there is an ongoing case like this one, that we're just not commenting.
And so, does the lack of comment mean that you do not think anything happening in New York today is one of the top issues facing the country at the moment?
That's your assessment. That's not my assessment. I'm just laying out the facts that we are just not going to comment on an ongoing.
Oh, I heard it.
From here, and we've been very consistent. We've been very prudent, and we're going to stick there.
Hold on. Hold on.
She's now that you brought this up, it looks like she talks to him real sweet now.
Hold on.
Look how she talks to him. She's always leaning on the podium.
Just like,
She's very cordial with him.
I'm telling you, her and the Deuce.
Hold on. I gotta mark this down before I forget.
She loves her some Daddy DOOCE, man.
All the time. Joe has no idea what we're talking about.
You didn't hear it? Mm-mm. Oh, I heard it.
It was loud and proud.
I
heard it. Anyway, go to the next one, Lonnie. This is the last one, and then we got This Week in Biden and a couple this week on Twitter.
Why did I say 2:35?
2 hours, 35 minutes.
Taiwan president visit. If China tries to take over Taiwan, is President Biden still committed to putting U.S. boots on the ground in Taiwan?
We've answered this question multiple times. I don't have anything else to share.
Okay. And then on the China spycraft, why did President Biden say that in February we were able to protect sensitive sites?
That's right over there with a yellow Sharpie.
If that's not true.
I'm not going to go into or dive into any reporting. That's not something I'm going to do. I'm not going to confirm any reporting. Look, we knew the flight.
Not reporting. The DNI said today.
Oh wait, we've already done this one.
Oh, did I click on the wrong one?
Yeah, I think you went. You went to the wrong one.
What's the deal with a random lady with an Ethiopia shirt?
I don't know. Oh no, I may have put it in there twice.
Yeah, I clicked on that one.
Whoops. Okay, so it was just a double dose of the deuce. My bad.
Some deucey deuce.
Some deucey deuce.
I'll tell you who likes her some deuce. Old Debbie.
Black Debbie.
I'm really wanting to see how this one plays out.
Yeah, me too. I think you might be on to something, Lonnie. Mark it. Lonnie is called that KJP goes to Fox News on April the 8th of 2023.
I'm feeling pretty good about
At
this.
approximately 10:30 p.m.
Feeling pretty good about this. Right after I just shit my pants.
Anyway, correct. You did shit your pants.
The second one?
No, I didn't hear the second one.
Literally just did it right before I started talking.
Anyway, okay, so
sandwiches Beth made.
Now it's time for This Week in Biden. This is disgusting, by the way. So this is the day of the Nashville shooting.
It was like that afternoon.
Yes. Or the next day. It's one of the two.
Now,
either way,
You got to go back to the start of this one.
Let's just start with people said at this time he did not know.
There's no way he didn't know.
He knew.
He knew.
My name is Joe Biden. I'm Dr. Joe Biden.
Who brought the 90s sitcom laugh track in?
And I ate Chinese ice cream, chocolate chip. I came down because I heard there was chocolate chip ice cream. By the way, I have a whole refrigerator full upstairs. I think I'm kidding. I'm not. God. Ben, how are you, pal? One of the best guys in the United States Congress, Ben Cardin.
Jesus Christ, Lonnie. There's no way that the microphones aren't picking these
I didn't
up.
even hear anything.
I felt that one. I felt that in my toes. What in the fuck, dude?
Hold on.
No. I'm marking them down. Stop. Oh my god, dude. Jesus.
I'm taking one ear off so I can hear it now.
I can hear it without taking an ear off.
I can't.
Jesus Christ. 248. God. Okay, go to the next. God damn. You son of a bitch. Go to the next This Week in Biden, please. Nope. Up. There you go.
Oh, fuck.
Richard Blanco returned to a poem he wrote from the second inaugural Barack poem.
What the fuck?
One moon silent drum tapping at every rooftop and every window on of every country. Let me start this over.
Please don't start over.
So intimidated by it. And always one moon, like a silent drum tapping on every rooftop and every window of one county.
Dear
Always
gosh.
facing the stars. Hope, a new constellation waiting for us to map it, waiting for us to name it together.
So you still can't read from the teleprompter.
Ding ding. Teleprompter takes this round.
Oh,
The teleprompter's like 75 and 0 at this point.
that thing is just
That thing is just fucking racking up dub after dub after dub. It is the undisputed, undefeated champ of the world.
against the Biden administration. Before?
I heard that one. Oh my
A little bit of I felt that one too.
You gonna get up in a minute, you're gonna be like, oh,
that's a little wet.
A little juicy.
Okay, so
I saw the tense up on you. He even held his breath.
Oh, you farted on that one. I thought that was Lonnie.
Oh, that was me. Okay, so put us back on the normal screen.
I'm glad that my sense of smell is somewhat lessened.
I think I blame Beth.
on the Stream Deck one.
Those sandwiches.
Okay, so go ahead and pull it this week on Twitter. Don't put it on screen share yet. Just pull it up. Because I want to get to the right one.
Jesus Christ.
You know what? Let's just go through them all. There's only 6 of them. So go ahead and...
This?
Yep. And it's time for This Week on Twitter. So, Being Libertarian posted, when the stock market crashes, but you're poor. And then Dom Luker, who I really enjoy his posts. I miss seeing powerful men defend our country. Barack and Michelle.
Michael.
Yes. So, again, bringing it back to the QAnon shaman, Derek Evans says, from Jacob Chansley's sister Ashley, Jake has one request. Please stop calling him the QAnon shaman. He prefers to be called America's shaman. Hashtag America's shaman. And this is my favorite. This is just Adam Kinzinger lying in a pool of tears and piss that just create the Ukrainian flag, because Adam Kinzinger is a bitch. And then finally, Geraldo Rivera, who I fucking hate. If you believe Audrey Hale, the killer of 3 children and 3 adult school staffers in Nashville, had a constitutional right to carry the 2 AR-15s used in the massacre, then you're part of the problem. And the Redheaded Libertarian, who is one of my favorite profiles on Twitter, says, thank you for bringing this up, Geraldo. Audrey Hale did have the constitutional right to carry an AR-15 until she used that right and no longer has that right as a corpse.
Abused that right.
Oh, sorry. I can't. The camera's kind
Until
of.
she abused that right.
Yeah, until she abused that right, and now she no longer has that right as a corpse. Hope this helps.
Savage. But I love it.
And then Nancy Pelosi doesn't know how government works.
Oh, boy.
The grand jury has acted upon the facts and the law. No one is above the law. And everyone has the right to trial to prove innocence. Hopefully the former president will peacefully respect the system which grants him that right. No, former Speaker Pelosi. Every citizen is innocent until proven guilty. And they have the right to a trial to prove that guilt. You do not know how courts work.
Smell like failure.
And she's stupid.
Stupid.
I think that's the last one. And that's been This Week on Twitter.
Damn it. That dang bird.
Hey man, that's the old school tweet notification.
You know what you need to do
Now-
though? You need to blend that over that over that. You need to blend the over that girl that goes no. Like they happen at the same time. Like all you hear is like at the same time though.
Now, Lonnie, that's not actually the funny. I just threw it down there to document.
But
What
it
was
is pretty funny.
It is pretty. It's hilarious, but we've already laughed at that. What was the thing that you said that we needed to watch on the way over here as the funny? The court. The y'all are dumb. Really
yes,
dumb.
Yes.
That one. We're going to do this, and then we're going to call it quits and get out of here.
Because we have been here long enough.
Yes. Going on 3
I don't
hours.
know how to spell his name.
Is that not it? What's his last name? Yeah, there you go. No, it pre-populated.
Where's that? Where is it at? It's not here.
Apparently not. You know what? Let's just do the Hide Your Kids, Hide Your Wife original interview.
You spelled it wrong in your search.
Oh, I did.
Maybe
I
spell
didn't know how to
it correctly.
Antoine.
Antoine.
I think it's Anthony.
Oh, it's Antoine.
Oh, well. I don't know, man.
It's really not showing up? Really?
Apparently not.
Dude, that court case was so fucking funny.
Well, we can find it later. Just do the hide your kids, hide your wife.
And hide your husbands.
Terrifying moment.
Now, I would like to point out that this is a local news story for us.
From the good old Huntsville, Alabama.
Like, we could go to the place that this happened in.
Yes.
And it is not a place that I would want to go, but
It's
we
there.
could go there.
It's actually a very short drive.
Yes. Take it
A
away.
woman who woke up to a strange man in bed with her. The woman screamed. Her brother rushed in to help and tried to fight the offender off. That break-in happened early this morning in the 500 block of Webster Drive in Huntsville. WFF 48's Elizabeth Gentle caught up with the victim. Elizabeth, emotions were running high.
And Mark, the woman, the victim, tells us that a man broke into her house and tried to rape her. Her brother went in and he tried to help her out, but the man got away, leaving behind, though, evidence of his visit. Kelly Dodson was asleep with her little girl inside their apartment on Webster Drive when
I was attacked by some idiot from out here in the projects.
Dodson says her attacker used a garbage can to climb onto the unit's ledge, open the upstairs window, and then he got in bed with her.
He in the
He tried to
projects.
pull my clothes off.
Dodson struggled with her attacker, knocking over items in her bedroom. Antoine Dodson heard his sister scream and ran to help.
Well, obviously, we have a rapist in Lincoln Park. He's climbing in your windows. He's snatching your people up, trying to rape them. So y'all need to hide your kids, hide your wife, and hide your husband because they raping everybody out here.
The attacker got loose and went out the upstairs window, but he did leave something behind.
We got your T-shirt. You done left fingerprints and all. You are so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
For
Crime
real.
scene investigator photographed and dusted for prints on the lid of the garbage can and the window pane and ledge. Dodson says he's never seen the perp before, but sends this warning to whoever is responsible.
You don't have to come and confess that you did. We're looking for you. We gonna find you. I'm letting you know now, so you can run and tell that, homeboy.
So, this reminds me. Have y'all seen the Mobile Leprechaun one?
Oh yeah.
That.
I think
my
we've
God.
done that. Why don't we go ahead and do that?
I was going to say do the remix, but
No.
The remix is
The Mobile Leprechaun is fine. I'm pretty
Also
sure
like-
we've already done this one.
I like
but-
old Sweet Brown Apartment Fire too. Oh Lord Jesus, it's a fire.
Yeah, but we're talking. This is local news, not this one in particular. But
St. Patrick's Day, crowds are coming by the dozens to get an up-close view at what some say is a piece of Irish folklore.
The guy comes out with a piece of PVC pipe.
A leprechaun is taking up residence in their neighborhood. A leprechaun. NBC 15's Brian Johnson has more.
Curiosity leads to large crowds in Mobile's Crichton community. Many of you bringing binoculars, and camera phones to take pictures.
To me, it look like a leprechaun to me. All I gotta do is look up in the tree. Who else seen the leprechaun? Say yeah!
Who else seen the leprechaun?
Witnesses say the leprechaun only comes out at night. If you shine a light in its direction, it suddenly disappears. This sounds suspect, as many of you say the leprechaun lives here. Others find it hard to believe and have come up with their own theories and explanations for the image.
My theory is it's casting a shadow from
The one.
Could be a crackhead. Got hold to the wrong stuff. Supposed to get up in a tree and play a leprechaun.
You're still on there, guy. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid, man.
This guy helping to direct traffic says he's
Why does he
prepared
get
for
this
his
flexible body armor on?
He's suited up from head to toe.
This wars off spells right here. This is a special leprechaun flute, which has been passed down thousands of years ago from my great-great-grandfather who was Irish. I just came to help out.
Others just need to get lucky and thinks a pot of gold may be buried under this tree.
Uproot that tree. I want to know where the gold at.
I want to know where the gold at.
It's in your mouth.
I want to go. Give me the gold.
C15 News.
People will do anything.
Looks like somebody got a really good look at it.
Justin are farting fucking fools. I farted 267. You farted.
We're gonna have a compilation at the end of the year. We're just gonna call it Freedom Flatulence.
It's gonna be speak to me the freedoms of toothless one.
Oh God. Oh my God. Anyway,
Holy
Hold
shit.
on, we got somebody.
that's been
Christine Brown. Do we know Christine Brown? Is that one of the?
I don't.
We aren't for long. not after our stunts.
Hello, Christine. I think you've been here before.
I think so. Christine, if you haven't been here before, welcome. If you have, welcome back.
We're not laughing at you. Y'all both farted at the same time?
It was like 2 seconds apart.
So, Christine, we're actually a political podcast. We're libertarian, but we're near the end of our podcast. We always try to share funny stuff near the end, but yeah, it's pretty good.
Give us a like, subscribe to us, click the bell icon. We go live almost every Saturday at 8 o'clock.
We've been on a hiatus.
We've been
about
on
a month.
vacation.
Yeah.
So Joe had some family time. I had some family time
and work time.
And
oh wait, no, that was family time. It wasn't work time.
and whatnot. So, but yeah, just definitely give us a like. And we hope to see you back. You know, we're here every Saturday for the most part.
After we end the episode, you can go back and rewatch the whole episode if you want to.
Yeah, I mean, if you're easily offended, probably not for you. But if you're not, or if you just want to hear some different views, you know, that's what we do.
We respect everybody that respects us.
Yeah, as long as you're respectful to us, we'll be respectful to you, and we look forward to interacting with you more. Now,
one thing we want to know that we always ask: where are you from? You don't have to tell a city.
Yeah, just general location.
Just like a state, country, you know.
You know, whatever. Oh boy. Yep, we like this one.
We like you already.
We like this one already. So, yeah, definitely come back. And
Wisconsin.
Wow, that's a new one. I've never seen anybody in here from Wisconsin.
Love cheese.
I mean, I'm from Alabama and I love cheese.
Well, yeah, me and Lonnie just love to cut it. Anyway, glad you stopped in. Glad you spoke to us, and hope to see you back. But for now, that's been Embers of Liberty. So I'm Justin.
I'm Joe.
I'm Lonnie.
And we like to fart. Tally ho, lads.